The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we could talk about.
Yes, speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, beautiful people. It is Monday, March 21st, 2022. This sports show begins right now. Yeah. Can't thank you enough for joining us. It is going to be a glorious day. Obviously, a lot has happened since the last time we were live in this studio right here. Big time trade for the Cleveland Browns. Big time stuff happening around the NFL. The Colts have still yet to do anything. Players are on the move, life is happening, and the toxic table is here. At Ty Schmidt, at Boston Connor. Connor, real quick. Ty, great to see you. Connor, what the fuck's going on with your head?
NHL trade deadline today, Pat. It's a massive day for us hockey fans. I'm very juiced about it.
You look amazing.
Thank you.
You should think about maybe this being your new look.
Yeah?
As that mullet continues to flow out underneath of that thing. And you're always ready to go. I mean, you can always strap that thing up.
Yeah, just in case someone wants to throw down, I'll strap it right back up.
You don't even know how to strap it up.
No, I do.
You're going to tie a knot.
Yeah, no, I'll be honest with you. The earbuds are drilling into my ears right now.
NHL trade deadline is today. I guess that means a lot of things are going to happen, like Patty Kane's coming to the Pittsburgh Penguins, allegedly. We'll keep an eye on that. At Tone Diggs is here. Tone Diggs, one half of the Hammer. Dahn Cowboys. Tone will have an entire Tone tournament talk later to break down everything that you might have missed over the weekend in the madness that is March. I got a chance to watch a lot of those games. College basketball, definitely not NBA basketball, and thank God for it, because there has been a lot of magic taking place over the last few days. Michigan State, I was promised, going to end Coach K's career, get them a plus 6.5. They obviously lose by 7. Don't know how to make a bucket for the last 5 minutes. Yeah. That is what's been going on in college basketball. A couple teams have started to sail. Hey, St. Peter's, let's go Peacock. Doug Edwards going out there. Kelvin Sampson's taking his shirt off in celebration. I mean, Houston's flying. I can't wait to hear what Tone has to say. Joining us now, though. You know, normally we don't start the show this earlier with such a bang.
No.
Right. This dude's been opening up the checkbook and saying, hey, we're winning a Super Bowl. What do we need? Oh, we need a pass rusher. Who are we going to get? Fucking Von Miller. Let's sign him to a 10-year, $700 million deal to bring him into our program. OJ Howard out of Tampa Bay. How you doing? You're a part of our program now. Ladies and gentlemen, a man who has built a culture of success in Western New York, GM of the Buffalo Bills. Ladies and gentlemen, Brandon Beane.
Yeah!
What's up, dude?
Appreciate you having me on. That's a pretty good intro.
Hey, well, you deserve it. I love the fact that you are going all in because you know you have a team, you know you have a quarterback, and you know last year if the overtime rules were a little bit better, you're probably going on a run already. Brandon Beane, hell of an offseason, sir.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. I appreciate it. Hopefully it'll pay off this fall. We'll see.
Okay, so let's talk about it. Whenever you stare down an offseason, we had Tom Telesco on last week, and he chatted about some of the moves, Khalil Mack, J.C. Jackson, everything like that. When you go into the offseason, obviously you're heartbroken because of how it ended, but you guys were in it. When you guys had to make plays, you made plays. Kansas City did the same. In the AFC, I mean, you're calling for realignment. It's going to be a fucking monster for the next 10 years. But whenever you look at your team, did you say, hey, we need a pass rusher, we need this? How do you kind of shape it, and what are you still looking for, you think?
Yeah, I mean, you got to have a quarterback, which we like the guy that that's under center for us. But the other thing you got to do, Pat, is you got to get the other guy's quarterback down. And we just our pass rush was good last year, but from a consistent standpoint against some of the more elusive guys, and we talked about Mahomes at the end, just a closer, and to have a chance to get a guy like Von Miller. You never know when you're going into free agency where guys are going to go and where their markets are going to be. And some guys don't even get there. They just re-sign with their own club. But as we were a couple days in, his agent reached back out to us to see where we were and said it's going to start heating up. If you want in, jump in. And so that's kind of how it got started. And started in the morning, and by the end of the day, Vaughn had agreed to be a Buffalo Bill, and we're pretty excited.
Whenever you see, and by the way, congrats on landing Vaughn.
Yeah.
But whenever you see what the number was going to take, is there a little bit of oh shit, or is it anything to make our team better? Let's go ahead and do it, because it feels like there's fairy tale numbers being released for everybody's contract. And we've actually, I think, been a part of like making people report contracts for what they actually are, as opposed to the entire thing. Pretty proud of us for that.
Yeah.
Pretty proud of us for that, actually. But the overall number was 6 years, $120 million. Then when you peel it back, it's like a 3-year deal or whatever. Did you expect the number to be what it was for Von Miller, or did that kind of catch you off guard? And was there any number that was going to maybe make you say, nah, we can't do that?
Yeah, I mean, listen, we knew it was going to be up there. I mean, when you watch the tape, Pat, down the stretch, I mean, he had 4 sacks in the playoffs for the Rams and was a big part of them holding that trophy up. And that's what we want. Not only the success he's going to bring, himself, his skills, but also we've got some young guys on the D-line. And I just think his presence out there and what he can do behind the scenes, helping teach some of these guys to, he's already done some things around the league with some of his rush schools that he's done, and I think he's going to be great from that standpoint. You knew to pay for pass rushers. I mean, these top guys now, T.J. Watt, I think, got a $28 million a year. The ultimate deal here, it's 17.5 is the real money, and you talked about it's really what is the money per year on the real money, the guarantee, and that's where we had to get comfortable with. And again, he's up there, but he's a genetic freak. He's a guy that you feel like you've seen pass rushers in the past be able to play into their 30s. And, we feel like that Vaughn's still got enough left to really help us get over the top.
That closer thing is such a big deal. I was very lucky to play alongside Robert Mathis and Dwight Freeney. And if it was fourth quarter and it was fourth down, they needed to play, there was about a 99% chance that Robert Mathis or Freeney is going to get to the quarterback. Like, this is what they are here for. They want this moment. Von Miller, in the second half of that Super Bowl, I think they had, 6 sacks? Vaughn had 3 of them or whatever. It's like, let's go get this game over with. Is that what you're telling them, though? Whenever you're signing them, hey, this is what we need. We need a leader. We need a closer. We need a guy that wants to go in there. How those conversations go, and what are your initial thoughts of Von Miller, the human, now that you got to meet him a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly, Freeney and Mathis were perfect for having Peyton Manning. I mean, you guys in those teams, you built leads, and then you let those guys pin their ears back. And I thought it was a well-built team by Bill Polian, and it's a recipe for success. And we're hoping with Josh Allen that we're going to build some leads, and then we got to close it, and we got to get the other guy's quarterback off the field. And Vaughn came in here. We agreed Wednesday. He came in here Thursday, and really took his time. He was very thoughtful with the process, went through the whole building, met our whole staff, and ultimately it was hard on him. He was very loyal to Denver for his whole career. He didn't have a choice. He's traded to the Rams, and then he kind of built his own brand there in such a short time, and relationships with the head coach, Aaron Donald, multiple other players on that team. So he's definitely a loyal, trustworthy guy, and I think as excited as he was to come here and help us, try to get over the top here in Buffalo, I definitely think it weighed on him leaving his teammates, especially knowing they had just, won a Super Bowl. But he's been great, and looking forward to getting to meet him even more when we get him back next month for off-season program.
Josh Allen's young. Obviously, Josh Allen's young, but he is a very pivotal part of your entire operation. I remember a couple years ago, before Josh Allen had become the Josh Allen that we've now seen over the last couple years, his first couple years still developing, still becoming the NFL quarterback, Cam Newton was available. And we had you on the show, and we're like, hey, did you ever think about bringing in Cam Newton? You actually said, no. We want Josh to know that we are building 100% around Josh Allen. We believe in Josh. Hey, that has paid dividends, by the way, with how great he has become. You empowered him. Do you ask him about signings or what he's thinking going into? Like O.J. Howard, you guys brought in, incredibly talented tight end. Do you guys have those conversations with him? Is he too young? Does he not want to be a part of that? How do you balance that entire thing of like respecting his opinion, but also not putting too much on him at this young stage of his career?
Yeah, I mean, Josh is great. We have conversations more on offensive players than anything, but how he views certain guys, not only as players but in the locker room. What's their leadership level? What are things that maybe I don't see from my seat that a player brings intangibly? I can watch the film or see what he does on game day, but have a lot of discussions with Josh. We probably talk sometimes 3 times a day, but we talk every week. He'll FaceTime me from the golf course, and he was I know he was recruiting Von Miller from the golf course last week. Steph Diggs did a great job, and some others. I think Bruce Smith even reached out to him to talk about this fan base and what it was like when he played and where it's at now and how bad this fan base wants a winner. And so it was a lot of people, but Josh is very involved. I talk to him all the time. I gave him a heads up that we're going to trade for Case Keenum, and we're signing Matt Barkley today, who he and Matt are very close friends. So we talk, and again, Josh is cool. He understands sometimes he may mention a player, and I say for whatever reason we can't do it, but I think he respects that we kind of can shoot the shit and go back and forth, and this is kind of what we're thinking. Is there any issues that you've heard about this player if it's somebody we're acquiring from another team?
Do you think that's because you're young, or do you think it's just how you would operate? Because it makes sense to me that you would want your quarterback, especially somebody that you've invested in for a long time, like, hey, I want to hear your thoughts on this entire thing. But some places we've learned publicly that it isn't like that. Is that just kind of how you always saw yourself to be a GM, or is it because of how much you respect Josh as a human and player?
I think it depends on who the quarterback is, and it's something that you would want. But are you talking to somebody who you can have private conversations with, trustworthy conversations, whether it's guys in the locker room, guys on another team? And I think Josh has earned that. And Josh and I talked about it a lot last year. I called him when we were getting ready to sign Mitchell Trubisky, and just said, hey, this is this is not to compete. Mitch is looking for a reset. He's going to come in here and be a great teammate. But I wanted him to know that before we make sure there was nothing I was unaware of between their relationship, because I didn't even know if they knew each other or not. And,
smart.
But we talked about that, and when we got Josh done last year, that was one of the conversations. Said, Josh, when we get you done to this long-term deal, you're going to be a part of it, as you've already been, and you're going to continue to be. And so I don't really ever want to try to catch him off guard. I try to give him as much heads up. Some things happen fast, but especially if it's somebody on offense or an offensive coach.
Yeah, you guys got like the prototype of quarterback right now, is what everybody's saying. 6'6", fast, can throw the ball. He seems like an incredibly cool guy. He's locked in long term. That's why off the record, act like nobody's listening. Nobody, just between us. You send Josh Allen to the Colts, we'll give you whatever you want. We doing that?
I would trade myself before I trade Josh.
I don't know if Ballard's going to agree to that. Let's talk about it. You're going into the draft now. So how do you balance the free agency process? I assume you're not done. Maybe you're done. You free agency is always evolving and everything like that. And then the draft is coming. How do you balance all that? And what do you think your team still needs? What do you think will take you guys over the hump? Now, granted, maybe new overtime rules, but what do you think does take your team to the next level? Because I think we all see it. Like, your team is exciting to watch. Seems like you got a bunch of dogs. They're underappreciated. 0 Pro Bowlers on the defensive side. Every time we talk to anybody in your building, they love each other. It feels like everybody in there loves each other. You are a team that not only Bills Mafia is pulling for, but I think everybody is, because of how you guys have done this, patiently building up your culture. What's the next step? What do you think you guys need, especially with Dave's gone now? How do you make the next step, you think?
Yeah, I mean, we got to get over that hump. The Kansas City Chiefs is a team that the last 2 playoffs have knocked us out. We beat them in the regular season, but there's some teams in the AFC West that are coming for them as well. So we got to win our division. It starts there. We got to knock this draft out. We're pretty much done with free agency, because unless you got some money in the kitty over there, we're pretty much out. So. We're
give
shopping.
us Josh! Give Josh! Send Josh in!
We're shopping in the very, very low end of the pool right now, just trying to fill some holes. But our main focus, coming up now is going back to pro days, workouts, bringing. We got the 30 visits where we can bring the guys in this year. So looking forward to that process. But it's going to be, all drafts are important. We know that, but this is going to be a really important one for us. Just where we are with the cap, we've got to hit on some of these low-cost, guys.
What did you see at the combine or from this draft class? Allegedly, quarterbacks doesn't matter for you guys, but it seems like everybody's fucking fast. It feels like there are so many fast guys. Do you think all these guys, just because how fast they are going to hit? Do you think there's a chance that you have to figure out who and how and what type of player you think fits in with that Bills team best?
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing every year you go to the combine and punters are running fast, by the way.
Come on. We always have, by the way. We always, no, I'm joking.
You have your work cut out for you to beat some of these kids. But, No doubt. It's amazing the testing that some of these guys do. I mean, you really ultimately, you still got to go back to what do they look like on film. I mean, you do see some guys every year that they run 4.3 something, but when you see them on film, they're playing, closer to 4.5 than they are 4.3. But yeah, we would love to add speed. I talked about the Chiefs; they've done a great job of adding speed. There's some other teams, in our conference that we'll have to contend with as well. So speed, but ultimately we're looking for good football players, and I do think it's probably not as deep a draft at quarterback that you mentioned, but I do think across the board, both lines, I think you can find guys on offensive and defensive line. There's some linebackers. I think there's corners, safeties. The whole passing game with the 7-on-7 passing camps, you're seeing more and more receivers and more DBs every year just because of you go out to Pop Warner football and they're running the spread.
That's what I'm saying. They're doing this as kids in neighborhoods are running this thing. They got those weird helmets on. They're doing that entire thing.
Yeah, no, it's unnerving a little bit because we don't see linemen ever put their hand in the dirt anymore. That's the part I don't like in the trenches. But the skill positions, it's really helped. Even the running backs, some of these guys you can, split them out and they can play a slot receiver for you.
I thought you guys were getting a new running back.
Sore subject. Thanks for reopening that.
Yeah. I know. I didn't mean to, but as soon as you said, right, I just couldn't help but.
I did it I gave you a softball. I deserved that.
Yeah. And by the way, you actually giving a human answer at a press conference also, sets that up. But business is fascinating in the NFL. And I think on this show, I try my best to explain to people yes, football, Pop Warner, high school, junior high, game. Pick up in the back game. But when you get to the NFL, it's a game, but it is a monster business. The way things are handled, who can fit in where, salary cap wise, who doesn't get along, who does get along. And sometimes the business, it felt like Randy Gregory was going back to Dallas. He's out. He's going to Denver. Then the next one was you. He was supposed to come up to you, and then he goes back to Washington. Then it just happened, I think, over the week. Zadarius Smith was supposed to go to the Ravens. I was going somewhere else. What do you think it is? Is it miscommunication, you think, or is it in the details? Why do you think this is happening? Do you see this being a trend, or do you hope not, obviously?
I hope it's not a trend. I mean, it happens every year. There's a guy or two, or this year maybe three. I've even actually heard it's not out there. There's another one. It was a smaller level deal that happened over the weekend. Another GM called me just to ask me kind of what had happened in our situation, and so it's frustrating. Unfortunately, it's an unwritten rule, and it is what it is. So there's nothing you can do about it. Ultimately, until somebody puts their name on the paper, and listen, if somebody doesn't want to be here, that's the best thing for them. You just you got to choose how you do business, Pat. And I choose how I do it. You choose how you do it, and everybo's got their own prerogative, I guess.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll forget about that too with that agent. I'm sure.
Yeah. It wasn't the agent. It wasn't. The agent did a great job. It was the other club. The agent did a great job.
I'm sure you'll forget about that. I'm sure that'll be something you won't remember. How old are you now, Beane?
Yeah. I'm 45. I get over that shit real quick.
Okay, last question for me before the boys have some for you. And we can't thank you enough for joining us, talking to Brandon Beane, general manager of the Buffalo Bills. I asked Tom Telesco this question because he's in the AFC West about preparing for your division. And there's that old story of Charlie Casserly at the Houston Texans getting fired because he drafted Mario Williams instead of Reggie Bush. And when he was asked why, he said, I'm trying to tackle Peyton Manning. Okay, I'm AFC South. I am trying to tackle Peyton Manning. You guys are now the guys of the AFC East. I mean, it's been a long time. The New England Patriots ran it. How do you keep an eye on what's going on around there? Because the Patriots, they don't have an offense coordinator or a defense coordinator. Bill Belichick's potentially run to all of them. Oh, yeah. Just found out this weekend that the fullback is no longer a position on the roster for the Patriots. How much do you have to kind of keep up with the rest of the AFC East, and how do you manage that versus building your team to be the best team?
Yeah, we always start there, Pat. We really do. We could win the division 5 years in a row. But that's the goal, because that's the entry ticket. It's like this NCAA tournament. You win the conference tournament, you're in. You win your division, you get at least one home game. So we pay close attention to the Jets, the Patriots, and the Dolphins, because we know if we want to get to where we want to get to ultimately, we got to win that. And, if you don't, now you're playing to get in as a wild card, and you run into tiebreakers, and sometimes you get left out. So we start there every year, and that'll be the message that Sean will preach to our guys, me as well, that we've got to win those 6 division games first. They count more than anything else. And after that, you're definitely looking at, and I mentioned the Chiefs have knocked us out. Obviously, that whole division is gotten quite interesting with Russell Wilson, to Denver. And you mentioned Telesco's done a great job with Khalil Mack and some of these other moves. I mean, you talked about Freeney and Mathis. He's going to have Bosa and Mack, and that's going to be tough.
Let's get Von Miller, please. Let's get Von Miller here.
Now.
Whenever you think like Mike McDaniel, new to the division, but he has a great run game, does that go into anything? Thinking like, all right, Miami's probably going to up the run game a little bit. With Bill, Mac Jones is a guy who's very accurate. What will he like? Is that something you're thinking about? Because they're all planning to beat you, right? Now that you're at the top, they're all trying to scheme on how to beat your team. That has to be a constant battle of like, can't overthink it, but also have to worry about it. There's a lot on your fucking table, dude. I don't know how you do it.
A couple beers every night. No, it's in all seriousness, it's you do. With Miami, new scheme. Obviously, he comes from Shanahan's system, so we'll as we depending on when we play him, we'll have to kind of figure. But every coach does their own nuances, but I'm sure that'll be the base of that system. Run first, that wide zone stuff. So we'll have to do that. The Jets, year 2 under Robert Saleh, they had some unfortunate injuries in camp last year. I know they lost Carl Lawson, maybe a couple others that really impacted. And they had a rookie quarterback. He's going to be a lot better this year. And again, Mac Jones, I thought he had a heck of a rookie season. Oh, yeah. And year 2, he's going to be better. And I'm sure they're going to add more weapons around him between now and the draft. And Belichick's a master. I mean, he's probably the greatest of all time. And so that's always going to be a tough one, no matter what players, or coordinators, or whether he's coaching offense or defense, they're going to be a bitch to prepare for.
You ever do any business with Belichick or them, or never because it's in division?
Yeah, we traded him a center one year in camp. We actually did.
How'd it go?
Yeah.
How'd business go? Was it like kosher there? Was it all?
Yeah, Bill's great. He's always been super nice to me. When we haven't dealt that much, but he's always been super nice. Had a couple phone conversations with him last year, and I think the world of him.
How about when he comes in and talks to Josh after the game? Is that something like? There's not a lot of people that can do that. By the way, Bill Belichick is probably one of the only that could do that, especially with the division and everything. Him coming in there though, and Josh being like, it was very nice, it was very cool of him. I assume you all view it that way. You obviously hate the Patriots because you have to beat them, but the guy's a fucking, I mean,
he's earned that right. I think that was pretty cool. I think Josh thought it was cool, and I was good with it. We got Josh under like an 8-year deal, so it's not like he could steal him away.
Imagine Bill coming in there with that silver tongue. Listen, we can make all these moves that we have to. Anyways, whenever you're ready to trade Josh Allen to Indy, we would definitely have that conversation. Talking to Brandon Beane. Go ahead, Ty.
Brandon, one of the first times you came on, you told us how when Stephon Diggs, you kind of were made aware that he was unhappy in Minnesota, and then that led to you guys, working out a deal and getting him. In a situation with like Devontae Adams, I think it was kind of surprising when he actually did go to the Raiders. Is that something you'll kick the tires on, like even though you guys might not have been able to afford him or whatever? And do you think more guys, like, is this happening more often now where you're being made aware that like these marquee players aren't happy and they might be willing to go somewhere else?
Yeah, I mean, we try to, I have a group of pro scouts, and part of their job is to be the GM of certain teams. So if I have, they split them all up, and hey, you're responsible for these 5 teams, and you're supposed to read up on them every day, know everything that's going on. You're following them on social media, and to let me know, especially if it's a position of need that we're looking for. We think we could fit them in. They would fit our culture. All the things that are important here. That's part of their job is to let me know. So yeah, we have those conversations, whether it's Devontae Adams situation, Diggs a couple of years ago. There's many that most of those don't ever come to fruition. Either you're not going to be able to pay them, they're going to cost too much, or the team's asking for too much draft compensation or a skilled player. But we talk about them a lot. Rarely do they ever happen. Diggs just happened to be one that we were able to get to the finish line.
How are you at poker? You a pretty good poker player?
I love poker. I'd like to say I'm decent, but I don't get to play it much. This job gets in the way.
Well, it feels like you're kind of doing that all the time, right? Because you're bidding against nobody, right? Like a ghost almost sometimes whenever you're trying to make a trade, but you can't show your ass. You kind of have to do that. What traits do you think make a better GM in your experience thus far? Not that you're saying you're a finished product or a great GM, but what do you think has made you have success thus far in building the team that you have in Buffalo?
Yeah, I think just be a straight shooter, be authentic. If I'm calling you, you're the GM of another team, and I'm calling you, telling you I've got a second rounder, or I'm not cutting this guy no matter what, and then 2 days later I cut the guy, you're going to be the next time I call you, and that's happened. Like you said, you were never cutting this guy. I offered you a fifth, and you're like, no, I'm not doing it. And sometimes you'll say, well, aren't you guys going to cut him? No, I would never cut this guy. And then 2 days later he's released, and you're like, all right, so. I think just be real, be authentic. Or, hey, I told you I had a second round pick, and then again 2 or 3 days later he's traded for a fifth round pick. It's like, dude, you know what I mean? You told me you had a second, I backed out. Why'd you now trade him for a fifth? So I think just be real, be authentic, and don't play it up if you're not in. If you're really interested, put your cards on the table. If you're not, then kind of back off.
How about anything that gets made public? Because, for instance, Jimmy G's on the trade block allegedly. It's now being publicly reported that they have an offer of 2 second rounders for Jimmy G. That sounds like a bunch of bullshit if that's getting made public. Am I wrong in thinking that, or right in thinking that?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I would assume that they have that if they're making it public, but I guess we'll find out. When you'll know is when the trade's done.
Yeah. How do you know, if anybody's leaking any information to reporters? And when information is leaked to reporters, do you try to use that to your advantage? Do you have to pick through what's real and what isn't real coming from other teams? Because it feels like, we're in it now more than ever. And I don't think I truly understood the amount of insiders and narratives and who's connected to who. How do you manage all that, both from your side with leaks and also other sides that are coming out? Do you just pick through what's real and what isn't?
Yeah, you try and use your sources, whether it's media, whether it's contacts on those teams or people who are connected to those teams. You just try and dig in. It may be checking in with a scout or a coach that on that team, just filling out what are they hearing, or someone who's connected to that organization that would truly have the insight. And again, you may check some of your sources media-wise around the league to, hey, I've always seen you connected to Team X. What are you hearing about the situation? You try to just it's a puzzle, and you're just trying to make it. It's very blurry at first, and you're trying to crystallize it the best you can before you make an educated decision.
Well, then if you get screwed over, you're just, this guy's the idiot. This dude's an absolute idiot. But if it ends up working out, who gives a damn? Go ahead, Tone.
Brandon, first and foremost, thank you for letting the second best quarterback in the NFL out of your building and to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. Last week, I obviously was tracking everything that Colbert was doing, and he was at 3 or 4 pro days while the middle of free agency was going on. How do you guys juggle going to these pro days and weigh how much those are worth versus tracking what's going on in free agency and stuff like that?
Yeah, if I'm going to be active, we were fairly active last week, then I'm here. If it's at this point, I can get out to some pro days. As I said earlier, we're looking for spare change in the back of the couch right now. So I could do that remotely, whatever school or sometimes a private workout we may have here or there. So yeah, it's to me, if you're not going to do much business, once you kind of know those things are done, you can hit the pro days. It really is whatever GM, some GMs don't go to pro days. They're just like, I'm in the building, 365, whatever it is. I kind of try and mix it up in the fall, going to games. And then at this time, take care of, the first few days of free agency and then get out.
If you show up, though, it's a big deal. General manager, Brandon Beane. You know what I mean? That's a real thing. They're reporting at Kenny Pickett's, they're like, Mike Tomlin and Matt Rule are the only 2 head coaches here. We see no general manager. As soon as you show up, it legitimizes that pro day. And you might be there, I'm here for the punter. I'm here. That isn't it. When you go to a pro day, though, it means there's something, right? You're not just wasting your time going to any pro days.
No, not you. I like somebody there. Now, anytime there's a quarterback that's going to be a marquee player, they'll list, generally head coaches, GMs, or, a consensus top 5, top 10 pick. hey, there's 6 GMs here today at Alabama or wherever it is, you definitely get labeled in there. I've been to some where they don't, but for the most part, it's going to be out there that Bill's GM is here at whatever it is.
Yeah, because the school wants that out there too.
Yeah.
And every player does too. Oh, Brandon Beane's here. Brandon Beane's here. Like somebody. Actually, his sister lives in town. I never get that follow.
Stop by for 30 minutes to say hi.
Hey, yeah. Hey, actually, my old teammate is here. Anyways, but he was here, I guess. Last question. We can't thank you enough, man. You've killed for us every time you come on here. You were awesome. In the same way, you've been great as a GM. You're great on this show. Very transparent. We appreciate that. Now to New England Patriot fan, Boston Connor.
Yeah, as Pat just said, I'm a Patriots fan, Brandon. You said Bill Belichick is probably the greatest coach of all time. He is. And let's also say he's probably the greatest GM of all time. But now that we know that the salary cap is completely fake, when you see what the Rams did last year and they kind of said, fuck dumb picks, essentially, does that change your philosophy at all? And during the season, could you see yourself kind of, instead of building through the draft next year or even this year, making a couple moves to get you over that hump?
Well, we're trying to make that now, and fortunately, we didn't have to trade any picks. So, as I said earlier, we still have some holes to fill, and we're going to have to develop. These signings. Even the cap is real in the sense that Von Miller's numbers counting a little over 5 on our cap this year. Well, we know what we're paying him, so it's going to build up over time. So, hopefully, we can land some draft picks that will fill those roles. So, it's still important for us to draft. So, I think what the Rams did last year was they kind of gave Denver a pick for the player, and then they gave him a pick to eat $9 million. So he was basically playing on a minimum price for them. That's why they were able to fit it in their cap. Some teams do that, but to me, those draft picks are, not saying I wouldn't do it. It's just you'd have to really know that this guy's going to put you over the hump to do it. And it worked great for the Rams. You got to give him, Les Snead a lot of credit for that.
Yeah, they won a Super Bowl. I mean, you win a Super Bowl, nothing else matters, I think, in this particular business.
True.
But the culture and the patience that you guys have had, the fact that you went out and signed Von Miller to big money and O.J. Howard, I think that in of itself is an indication that you would be willing to go and get it if you have to at this point. Is that because you recognize the team you have and the opportunity you have? And also, our point of the salary cap being a bunch of bullshit. Is that how you view it as well? Knowing that you have to get to a number, you said you're going to have to pay him down the road, but this salary cap might be, hey, imagine if Apple gets in the game, Google gets in the game, Amazon's already in the game. I'm telling you from my perspective, I don't know if you know this, a lot of fucking money over here. These platforms and sports books, a lot of money. I think it's only going to go up. Do you know that? And do you have to act on that accordingly? Or do you try not to screw yourself down the road? How do you balance what you need now versus, okay, this might bite us in 2-3 years?
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, you try and, as you restructure some of these deals, not put it all in 1 year. We try to put a little bit, next year if we're kicking it down, maybe a little bit in 24, a little bit in 25. So all of a sudden you don't walk into next free agency or 2 free agencies from now and you're $100 million over the cap, which can happen. We're trying to balance it, Pat, like keeping up with, what the new deals of the league are going to be, where's that revenue going to go, and what will that do to the cap. Right now, we're still kind of working our way back from COVID because even though it went up this year and it's at 208, it was supposed to be in the 220s, by now. So we're still behind, and I think that's why you got a lot of restructures that are still happening around the league. But hopefully, in 2 or 3 years, Google, Apple, all these things that you're talking about, hopefully they jump on board. And let's make this cap go way up so I can keep spending and buying the right things.
Brandon, I'd love to see what you would do with a $500 million cap. That would be an amazing thing. Can't wait to watch your team this fall. Can't wait to watch the moves you make during the draft season. And can't wait to see Bills Mafia all the way back. You're the man, dude. Thank you for your time.
Appreciate you. Thanks for having me on. Enjoyed it, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, General Manager of the Buffalo Bills, Brandon Beane. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Every time he comes on, he's awesome. Yeah. Shout out to CFO Phil for that booking.
That baby Phil.
That baby Phil. That baby Phil.
All the Bills guys, it feels like, are incredible.
It's a great team. I think that's a team I would want to be a part of.
Yeah.
That building. It would be a building I'd want to be a part of. Well, I'd have to play in Foxborough every year, I guess, which I did that anyways when I played.
True.
Wasn't that successful up there.
Yeah.
It would be great to go up there and get a win.
Hell yeah.
Someday.
Couple.
No, everybody, I guess the Packers are looking for a punter currently, I think, aren't they?
They got O'Donnell from the Bears. They did grab him.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to Pat O'Donnell.
Yeah.
Shout out.
How many times do you think the Bills swept the locker room after Belichick was in there
All of them.
for bugs?
Man, that's not just Belichick, too. Nowadays, everybody probably assumes everybody's doing something. Well, check the button. He's got a camera. Look. He's got one of those little button cameras. Or like that old school porn guy. Had those glasses.
Oh, yeah.
Google Glass.
Check those. Those are weird glasses, Bill. Hey, Bill Belichick, why are you wearing those glasses?
I had an operation on my eye.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, incredible.
I love that guy.
They're in a good spot.
You know, overtime rules weren't so stupid. These boys would be probably still playing.
Yeah, probably.
Chiefs Titans would probably still be playing.
Yeah.
Bill's defense, though, probably not happy about how the whole thing panned out in the conversation. They probably don't even like that we're still talking about it.
Probably not.
Because every other defense is like, nah, get a stop, you win. Like, that's how defensive players feel. That's why, like, you hear AJ talk, you hear Darius Butler talk, you hear any defensive player that has ever played in the NFL, like, no, the defense needs to do their fucking job too. You get a stop, you get a win or whatever. So that's a whole conversation in of itself. But boy, a lot of us NFL fans would have loved to see Josh answer.
Yes.
And then if Pat would have answered, it's like, oh, this is the next 15 years.
Yeah.
Incredible.
We got these two the next 15 years, let alone Herbert and Mac Jones' growth. Now Russell's in the AFC. I mean, the AFC is awesome. Lamar Jackson, Joey Burrow, Deshaun Watson now, which we'll talk about on the other side, Mitchell Trubisky in Pittsburgh.
Of course.
Yeah. We're back in 4 minutes talking about everything that happened that we haven't got to talk about yet. Brandon Beane and your phone calls on the 5 Hour Energy phone line. 1-833-4-McAfee. That guy is the man.
Hell yeah.
See you in 4. Hey, we're up to something big. Hey, we're up to something big, AJ. We are up to something. This is the coolest moment of the history of my existence. I think people are going to be startled. It's a joke, and I can't thank everybody enough, honestly. I'm up to something. It is a big time day. Let's go. Not only are we going back to Plum to do something cool, but today is the day that our heater horse has arrived for the Super Bowl. It's a pretty big deal. You know, whenever you get a chance to give back to where you're from, especially a place that helped create me and mold me, I'm very, very lucky to do it. I'm lucky to be from here, and it seems like the only smart thing to do would be give back. It stinks here, huh? What's up, Kennywood, dude? Kennywood is named after Kenny's Woods. A man named Kenny owned the hill in the woody area. They turned it into an amusement park, which is a Yinzer staple. So Jeezy actually shouts out this area we are in currently. I think life can be much simpler whenever you just take care of your people, enjoy your life, and do your thing, and that's all we're trying to do. You know, growing old, slowly dying. How about you? How's everybody? I'm gonna give a full lead up to how I got to where I'm at. I think I'm very lucky to be from here. If you're a kid that has walked through these halls, you understand something that not a lot of people do. I think Plum is a much different place than everywhere else. And there's Nick up there. Go look at Nick, how pissed off he is. This past summer, I was driving through here because I was here for an event, and Angelo Bolino, little blonde-haired kid, was kicking on the same field that I used to kick on as a child. And he had like 2 balls and a holder. And I was watching him kick, and then he would go shag for himself, and then he would come back and kick. And the easy question is, if he had 10 balls, how much better could Angelo Bolino be? If I would have been able to have 10 balls, 15 balls, new cleats, new everything, chances to go to camps with my teammates and everything, what could have happened? So I said to myself, literally after meeting with Angelo, great season, by the way, dude. I said, if I ever get a chance, I'm going to try to take care of the potential humans and kids that were in my exact position in Plum. I'm going to give $200,000 to the Plum area soccer. I'm going to give $150,000 to the PMFA youth football. I'm going to give $100,000 to the baseball youth. I'm going to give $100,000 to the lacrosse. And then we're going to have $2 million in this fund that'll just start. And hopefully it'll only go on from there. Sweet stuff for sports. Just anything to make everybody's, the teams and the players' lives easier, better. Trying to streamline the entire process of taking care of the athletes at Plum High School is kind of what it's all about. Hey, you too. Wow, dude, that was cool. All right, Narati, like the Indy, you're going to have a lot of people that have never accomplished anything in their life tell you that what you're thinking about doing isn't possible. Just because they don't think they could accomplish it doesn't mean anything to you. Cheers, everybody. Hey, we're all Mustangs here. Let's go. Thank you. I'll tell you what, it was pretty cool. Roger Goodell gave me a big hug beforehand, too, so that's good, sir. Thank you so much. Shane, you drinking? Yeah. Cheers to you, man. That was a good one. That was good. Oh, that was I feel like it went pretty good. Oh, look at the phone. Hey, welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show here on Monday, March 21st, 2022. A little slow start on that one. Mm-hmm. Was he doing this? Is that what that is? Is that the beginning of that thing? Did that guy just make the sound with his mouth to start it, Kyle Best?
That was an impressive popper.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
That was good.
Haven't probably done that in, 15, 20 years? Mm-hmm. Never
Still
going to do it again. That's the last recorded pop out of this old mouth here. Brandon Beane was awesome.
Oh, yeah. Incredible.
All right, let's dive into some things that we missed. As I was flying from Indianapolis to Charlotte, North Carolina, the Queen City.
What?
We had that was great. It was awesome. Thank you to for the love in that arena. By the way, that was amazing. What a night! I was forced to apologize. I was suggested. Okay, I was suggested to apologize or get fired and lose the Mania match or whatever. And I'm like, man, you know how much dieting I've started doing and work I've put into this. I mean, it's 2 weeks basically. You can't do that.
No,
No.
Well, you're gonna go out there. You're gonna apologize. I've been told that a couple times whenever I was in high school, and stuff like that. But those ended the same exact way the Friday did.
Well, I
have never done well with people just telling me what to do. That never, ever. When I was just this big, all the way up to this big, never, ever have done well with hey, you're going to go do this. Well, I don't really feel that way. Well, you're going to need to because of whatever. All right, it's going to end up bad for you. Now, I'm going to end up in trouble. That happened to me a lot, by the way. Ended up in trouble, a lot of awkward conversations, maybe a couple and that whole thing. Sure. But I'm going to stick by what my truth is. Always have been this way. And then everybody just got to see it on SmackDown or whatever. I said I apologize and sorry.
That's right.
In that thing, numerous times.
Yeah, what the hell more does he want?
I even said dude's name. Well, he said he accepted it. Now, obviously, we shall see about the office I walked out.
Right.
True.
I did feel like a high schooler, though. Michael Cole telling me, hey, you've been summoned. It was the word summoned to Vince McMahon's office. I thought he was tripping balls. I actually thought that. I was like, what is this dude doing? It's the middle of the show. But just like he did when my heart rate went up to 160, and he offered me. Yeah. I mean, I almost had a heart attack that day in the middle of this show having a conversation with him. I had no clue that was coming. And, the walk was interesting. Thought I'd get some music.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
Something.
What's that about?
Are you ready for a good time?
Sure.
So get ready for the... Are you ready for a good time? Classic I watched the video about just SmackDown graphics. That's not how it went in my head when that happened for the first time. Anyways, to hell with it. Had a blast. Thank you to Charlotte. As I was flying to Charlotte, North Carolina, the Queen City, where you go uptown, you don't go downtown. The group text message started blowing up. But when you're on an airplane, the Wi-Fi is normally okay?
Sure.
It comes and it goes, but when it comes, it's great. When it goes, for whatever reason, like maybe you're flying over 2 tornadoes like we did on Friday.
Sure. Yeah, we actually did.
Never in my life have I experienced a pilot going, it's going to get real bumpy. Real bumpy all the way back. Yeah, 15 minutes left. Going to be bumpy the whole way. Puts his headset. I got wings sitting in front of me from Wingstop. Fat boy need 2 10 pieces. Shout out to Rick Ross. Then I had we had some cookies over here. We had music playing, having a good old time. And it's going to get real bumpy. I'm like, I had an edible or 2 before we got on this. But what does that mean? I've never heard that before. And then Foxy's phone starts going off. An alarm on his phone. I thought it was on the plane. So I thought the plane was making this noise. And Foxy goes, no, this is, there's a tornado warning. And I said, where? And he looks at the map that's on the side. He goes, right where we are right now. And I was like, holy shit. And then put the seatbelt on, put the desk in the table thing. And that was the first time I said, I'm like, oh, we're going to fucking die here. I assume this tornado just popped up out of nowhere. There's a reason we're flying directly over a fucking tornado right now. What's the case? Boom. Then there was another one. Then it got real smooth. I was like, we're in the eye, Foxy.
Yeah.
We are in the eye of this entire storm, Foxy. And then, for whatever reason, that eye only had a bottom part of its eye because we were done. It was completely smooth sailing afterwards over 2 tornadoes. I mean, that was a real situation there. Almost pooped my pants.
Terrifying.
Anyways, with that being said, the internet, while the tornado situation was happening, coming and going for whatever reason. On the way to Charlotte, the internet coming and going for whatever reason. When the internet came, it came in abundance with a lot of text messages from the group. Holy shit was the natural reaction from all of us. Deshaun Watson officially traded from the Houston Texans to the Cleveland Browns and also receiving a 5-year, $230 million contract fully guaranteed.
Whoa.
Fully guaranteed. My first response, 7 L's, 6 Y's. Holy shit. That is massive. Could have never expected this. Obviously, Cleveland Browns were out of the running. And I read through Peter King's article this morning, and it kind of broke down how and why and who went where. And it might have been Albert Breer. I'm not 100% sure. I read both of those this morning. But basically, it being so fucking cold was... Deshaun's like, I'm not going. Played high school in Carolina, or college in Carolina, high school in Georgia, pro in Texas. Cleveland was cold. I ain't doing it. Okay, so then Charlotte was knocked off, and it was just Falcons and Saints. And then for whatever reason, whether it was money or it was final thoughts about the teams that he was going to be attending and joining, they called back the Cleveland Browns because the Cleveland Browns said at the end, whenever they were told that they were no longer interested, like, please let us know if there's any change of heart. There was a change of heart. Then a contract was negotiated. Then a trade took place, and whammy, the world just blows up at Friday like 4:15 or something like that. Biggest contract in the history of the NFL. Most guaranteed money in the history of the NFL. Deshaun Watson and David Mulligata in 1 week time, week and a half time, maybe 20 years in jail to $230 million guaranteed. Couldn't even imagine the emotional roller coaster that Deshaun Watson has been on. But the Cleveland Browns make a big statement. Hey, we just seen the Bengals go to the goddamn Super Bowl. Our team has a great roster, but we are 1 quarterback away. We fucking told our quarterback we're 1 quarterback away. We're going to go look for a quarterback that can get us to the Super Bowl. You hang tight. That quarterback said, well, I want to be traded. You fucking hang tight. Okay, we are dealing with a $230 million contract for Deshaun Watson to become our quarterback. I think people are obviously infuriated by the fact that he's getting the largest guaranteed contract of all time with all the civil allegations that are still looming and hanging out there, and the way the contract was set up with $1 million base salary next season. So no matter what he's suspended, they're expecting it only to be length of a season at most. Maybe it'll be 6 games, maybe 4 games, maybe 12. Nobody knows, I think, at this point, how many games it is. People have tried to check into what has happened in the past, but if you do that, Roger Goodell hasn't really had that much consistency in his punishments. I mean, everybody knows that. So we have no clue what the punishment's going to be. They assume it's going to be less than a year. They make that a $1 million salary, so that's all he will get missing contracts or checks out of from the suspension or whatever the punishment is. But as soon as the grand jury decided not to indict Deshaun Watson, and hey, listen, the internet said very loudly, and people that are much smarter than me said, that doesn't mean he's innocent. And we said from the very beginning, understandable, okay, you know about it more than we do, let the whole process take place. But since it's not criminal, I'm going to let you know how the NFL is going to act. And it happened immediately. Yeah. As soon as they saw that it wasn't a criminal situation happening, they were like, boom, we are in. And the Browns spending $230 million, I wonder what Atlanta would have spent. I wonder what the Saints would have spent. They all would have been big contracts regardless. Yeah. But 230's got some really people pissed off. But if you're a Browns fan, I would assume, depending upon what goes on with the 22, right? This is a lot of allegations still. Civilly, it has to take place. Criminally, it didn't, which is why all the NFL teams are like, yep, we're doing this. So civilly, who knows what's going to take place, but he's a fucking incredible football player.
Yes.
And that team is stacked offensive line-wise, running back-wise. They got Amari Cooper. He'll be able to make, if he's still playing the same way he was playing a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, he'll be able to make other wide receivers that aren't A wide receivers at least higher grade. If they're a C wide receiver, he can make them a B wide receiver because with how he can scramble and prolong plays and extend plays, that gives guys more time to get open. He can hit them. I mean, he is a baller. I got a chance to see him, obviously, Colts, Texans. I watch him play 2 times a year now, every single time, even whenever they only win 4 games a season. He's fucking electrifying. He is exactly what Cleveland Browns fans will love. Obviously, the civil cases are going to have to get figured out and justice should be served, but criminally, as soon as that thing was no longer indicted, we knew the NFL was going to move in. It ended up being Cleveland. None of us could have expected
No,
this.
definitely not. And he said a big part of it, too, was that they are young at core positions, and it's like, hey, these guys, we can grow together in Cleveland. But it's also interesting, like, what does this do dominoes-wise now? Because I think we assumed that
Atlanta.
it was going to be Atlanta. Matt Ryan was probably going to get traded to the Colts. And now that kind of throws, like, there's still reports that the Colts are interested in Matt Ryan. But then what happens there? Like, everything's kind of still in flux. And, Baker, I mean, what's he going to get traded for? His preferred destination is the Colts as well. So, like, it is really interesting to see what's going to happen from here on out. Because I don't think anyone other than Connor thought that Deshaun was really going to go to the Browns.
At Boston, Connor, victory lap or no, the fact that you said he's going to the Browns. Look at that roster. Look at that team. And everything that was said to you to fight what you were saying, he's not going to the cold. He's going back home. Everything basically, I think, is what people thought he was thinking. And I think at a certain time, he was thinking these things. Yeah. And then he had an open and change of heart whenever push came to shove. If I'm reading through the reports accurately, well, he's going to a great team.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a good fucking team. Yeah. Tough division. Joey Burrow, Lamar Jackson, now Deshaun Watson, whenever he plays. Jacoby Brissett was signed to be the backup quarterback there. Everybody assumes he's going to see significant playing time next year. He has started in the past. He has played in multiple offenses. He is now their official backup quarterback as Baker Mayfield lies in purgatory, which they don't know where he's going to end up at, how he's going to end up at. He wants to come to the Colts. Who knows? But that team is good, Carl.
Yeah, unbelievable. Definitely not a victory lap. I was thinking the Browns just because of the team they had, but the AFC East plays the AFC North next year. Like, the last thing I wanted to see was him going to the Browns, but like Atlanta, these other teams that just didn't have what Cleveland has. I mean, it sucks as a team who has a young quarterback in the AFC that is hopefully going to be competing against the Browns, the Bengals, the Ravens. I'm sure the Steelers are going to be just fine too with Mitch. Like, the AFC is absolutely loaded, so it blows, but it'll be nice to see him play again.
Yeah, and we don't know when that's going to be. The trade was, 3 firsts, a third, and a fourth, and Deshaun Watson, right, for a Deshaun Watson and a 5th rounder. 3 firsts, a third rounder, and a 4th. Yes, shout out. Good on me.
Oh, yeah.
Haven't seen that in like 3 days. There's a lot that has happened since I read those terms via Schrags there. 3 first rounders, a 3rd rounder, and a 4th rounder are what the Texans pick up. And the Browns get Deshaun Watson and 5th round pick. Nobody's talking about
that.
That's right.
A 5th?
Huge.
I would like to know how that worked. And we want a 5th rounder. All right.
What?
I would like to know how, no offense to a 5th rounder, I was a 7th rounder, so there's been a lot of great 5th rounders, but in the whole context of the conversation, that's hysterical to me. Was it that a 3rd and a 4th rounder combined? Well, we need at least something back if you're going to get that as well. We can't get completely fleeced here. Tone Diggs, Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Seems like the Cleveland Browns are no longer the Cleveland Browns. They're not the same old Brownies. This is a new Brownies going after $230 million guaranteed.
Man. Well, you guys said that last year and the year before that about the Browns, so we'll continue to pump the brakes on that. And I asked you, I said, would you be worried about if Deshaun Watson went to the Jets? And you said no. And I asked you if he went to the Lions, would you be concerned? And you said no. And I asked you if he went to the Jags, would you be concerned? And you said
I was
no.
a part of an experiment. I remember when you asked me that.
So when you asked me, am I concerned about Deshaun Watson going to the Browns, the answer is still no, because the Browns are still the Browns. And I mean, Twitter is not going to let them forget about those allegations. They are allegations. Let's make sure that we know they're allegations. And if I'm thinking, you were talking about suspension, I think Big Ben got 6 games for 2 allegations. You do the math, Deshaun should probably get around 60 games. So not going to have to worry.
Good math.
No, I mean, obviously it is a little bit of a worry, them getting Deshaun Watson, but
He's a playmaker.
he's a playmaker as a player. I really like him. He's really, really good. He's everything you want in a quarterback. But until I see the Browns actually do something with it, I'm not going to be worried.
Hilarious. That's a lot of Pittsburgh's response. And Pittsburgh took a lot of shrapnel, for supporting Ben Roethlisberger.
Oh, yeah.
And now Cleveland is in an interesting situation. And I do believe if you know anything in the history of Pittsburgh and Cleveland, that Twitter's going to be ugly. That Twitter, it has been for a long time.
Yeah.
That's going to get even worse. That's a good old-fashioned, we don't like anything about that.
Right.
And, I can't wait for Rupper and Tone Diggs to run into each other someday. Next hour, AJ Hawk will be here, as will Mark Titus.
There you go, Marky.
Club Trillion. You know him.
Oh, yeah.
Club Trillion, great social media.
Oh, yeah.
Great Twitter account. Knows college basketball. Used to play for Ohio State. Has a podcast called Titus and Tate. He works for Fox Sports. Can't wait to chat with him about the March Madness. Can't wait to hear Tone's tournament talk. Happening next hour. And AJ Hawk. We'll see you in about 5. Cheers. Why is football the greatest sport on earth? And do you think football is the greatest sport on earth? And why do you like football?
That's a really deep question there, Pat.
I know. I think I'd get a good answer out of you, though. I think you'd be able to talk about it in a way that I think a lot of people haven't, because you've been at the pinnacle of it for so damn long and inside of it, and your brain is a pretty fantastic one. We've learned here over the last few weeks, obviously. Last few weeks, that's it. That's all the time we've learned that.
I think it's the greatest sport in the world for one main reason. It is a true team sport where it is damn near impossible for one person to dominate an entire game. And if you look at other team sports, basketball with 5 guys on the court, I think you've seen multiple players over the years. Maybe one player, maybe 1 or 2 players on a squad be able to dominate and win championships. Baseball, you can have a dominant pitcher and win championships. Soccer, you can have a dominant forward and or goalie. That seems to be a little more of a team sport, but you don't have 11 players engaged at the same time on every play. It is truly a sport reliant on every player on the field to do their job in order to be successful. And I think that's why at times, certain star players can get maybe too much credit and maybe too much blame on the flip side, because it does take so many players at the same time in 3 phases to win football games. And I think that's the beauty and the draw of our sport, is that something new happens all the time, because you are literally dealing with 11 humans on the field at one time who all have lives outside of football, and there's distractions, there's a reliance on coaching, there's a reliance on preparation, there's a reliance on diet and performance. I just think there's so many facets to it that you see something new every single week, and I think that's the beauty in our game. When it comes to the love that I have for it, it's rooted, and I think like any player who's played for a long time, the love is not just about our sport, it's about competition. And I think there's nothing in the world for me that fills that need and that hole I have like competition. I think if players who played for a long time at a high level, you have that need to be satiated competitively, and it's a love of going out there and going against guys and being in an environment where you know that nothing is guaranteed. And that's why I, at times, I've taken umbrage to people saying that it's easy, because it's not easy. It's never easy. And I think that's the beauty in our game, is that you see things new every single week. It's never easy. And your only thing you're guaranteed is the ability to compete. I love that aspect of it. I love competing. I love going out there and harnessing the fear of failure, where I think so many people who maybe don't love football as much, the root of that is a deep fear of failure, that you might go out there and your best might not be good enough, and that's not okay with you.
Hell of a machine.
310J, dude.
Oh, top of the line.
That's the one they were singing about being sexy.
That's right.
The 310J, when somebody saw it, that's sexy, and he was like, the country music, you're right, it is. She thinks my tractor's sexy. Oh, look at that.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Hey, that's got a good cockpit in there.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like the Pope Mobile with all the glass around the top there, but it ain't no Pope Mobile, because this one's fucking breaking grind. Hell yeah.
party in the front, business in the back. Am I right?
Well, I do believe we got business
on
all
both
sides.
ends.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, the plow down there in the front is, although a good time. It is a good time to get that thing going.
Fun.
Business is being handled.
Everyone's getting plowed.
And then on the backside, whenever you start cracking earth,
Oh yeah.
oh my
You
God.
need the excavator back there, the big dog.
And you know the thing about the seat on this 310J, it turns.
Yeah.
So it's always in the front, whatever you're working on. Business can be on the front, both sides.
That's right.
Controls all around.
We worried about those front tires?
No, not at
that's
all.
how they roll.
No, they survive anything.
Those are standard Deere backhoe tires.
Look at the back
Someone like
tires,
you might be worried
Foxy.
about
Yeah, exactly. Foxy.
I'm just asking questions.
Foxy, it ain't about the front wheels. It's always about the back.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat
What the fuck are
McAfee
you
Show
doing?
starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, welcome back to that show. Hour 2 on this March 21st, 2022 shall begin shit. Now. Hell yeah! A little early on it because how excited I was. Hey! Out of baby Zito!
Thank you, Zeke.
Baby Z.
We got some news coming out of some of these pro days. The Carolina Panthers are currently at the University of Pittsburgh's pro day for Kenny Pickett. And the general manager for the Carolina Panthers named
Fitterer.
said, hey, Pickett, get your fucking ass over here, boy. All right, so Kenny Pickett comes jogging over. And I don't know if that guy's got a southern accent or not. Okay?
He does for this.
Carolina, though.
Yeah.
Get your fucking little ass over here, boy. So he tosses him an NFL football. And he says, go ahead and grip that fucking ball, boy. Puts his hand around it. And then he says, hey, Ben McAdoo. Ben, does that look like fucking Eli or Gino's hands on a fucking football or what? And McAdoo with his slicked back hair goes, that's good for me. Carolina said, thank you. Give me that fucking ball bag. Now go ahead, boy.
I'll go get some of that
Go
sweet
Tom.
tea over there.
Yeah, go get some of that wheat tea we brought. We brought some fucking wheat tea up here. Allegedly, that actually happened.
Yeah.
That it was something because Kenny Pickett's hands measured longer today than they did at the combine. Because you remember at the combine, his hand was 8.5 inches. And no NFL quarterback has had below a 9-inch hand and had success in the NFL ever or something like that. So the 8.5-inch hand was a big conversation about whether or not Kenny Pickett could be an NFL quarterback. I'd like to let everybody know I was, I forget what it was, but I was an NFL quarterback.
That's right.
Yeah. If you can spin it, you can fucking spin it. Now, with that being said, when you're in the pocket and somebody glances you, how much you have that ball locked in. I think that's the bigger conversation than the can he throw it. Now, granted, I did see a couple Kenny Pickett throws, and they were super duper wobbly, which would mean maybe he's still working on his grip or changing because from a different size ball. I can barely throw a college ball. That's why I like this Baby Duke so much because it's about as fat as an NFL ball in the middle. So you can actually throw this thing. College, high school balls, I can't throw worth a fuck. I can't because of the size of it. So maybe we just saw some throws that weren't necessarily his A ball, but the hand size, throwing, definitely something. It's everything else about the big beast, like the guy that's joining us right now from an attic in Ohio. All-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, college football national champion, Super Bowl champion, AJ Hall. AJ, did you hear what the Carolina Panthers GM said? Get over here, fucking boy. Hold this ball. How do you feel about it? And it was my depiction of why it is a bigger deal than just throwing the ball accurate.
I think it's very accurate. People never think about what you said. It's like the secondary stuff. It's not just gripping the ball to throw it in cold weather or rain or whatever. It's the little things like we've seen Ben Roethlisberger over the years. Dude's hanging all over. You got to manipulate the pocket, as you like to, the color commentators like to say now. Like, oh, he's manipulating the pocket, just shuffling around, having some feel. And just get little glancing blows that you can hold on to the ball when you probably shouldn't. So that's the thing. I don't know. I didn't know every GM has a Southern accent, but hey, I'm here for it.
Hey, I dropped the Southern accent in Carolina on Friday. Had to, for my family. For my family, had to do it. manipulating the pocket. I love that some quarterback created that in Keller commentary to make it look a lot more important than what they were doing. You said, yeah, shuffling around, having some feel. Yeah, just basically being a fucking quarterback, manipulating the pocket. You hate it so bad, huh? You hate that compliment that isn't deserved?
I think I stole it and used it a few times when I was doing college games. When I would use that term is when stadiums started, when guys would score touchdowns to the home team, I would be like, oh, they're manipulating the lights. I love this. When they would flash the lights, you know what they can do now?
Yeah.
That got me pumped, and that's when I would steal their term.
Yeah, well, I try not to listen to anybody because I don't want to pick up anybody's shit. But, man, some stuff is just too damn good. It's like some stuff, I feel like you're doing a disservice to the person if you're not at least doing it, Like the whats are absolutely legendary.
Yeah.
All time.
But in the millions is absolutely legendary. Like those things need to live.
For sure.
Those things manipulating the pocket needs to survive forever, AJ.
right.
Don't you ever stop using that. You know what I mean? They should feel like that's a compliment too.
Well, I assume that old Tony Romo is a big fan of the show with how much you guys talk him up on here, so I'm sure Tony will continue to let that live. Didn't he sign a 20-year contract with CBS?
Good point.
I think it was 10 years, 170, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for him, by the way.
Nice job, Tony.
Good job, Tony.
Kid and watch football. Kid and watch football. That's a blast. Good for him. Joining us now, I believe, is a man that we've been eagerly awaiting his arrival for years.
That's right.
I believe was supposed to come on the show a couple different times. For whatever reason, didn't work out. Been a fan from afar. Cannot wait to chat with him now. Host of the Titus and Tate podcast, Fox Sports college basketball analyst, former Ohio State Buckeye legend, Mark Titus.
Yeah!
What's up, boys? How we doing? It's a pleasure to be here. This is again, I've been a fan of your guys from afar, and I can't believe we've never crossed paths. It finally happened. AJ and I have crossed paths a few times, but we're doing it.
Do you go to that cult cruise? You go on that cult cruise that goes on down there?
I have not. I've always wanted to. It seems like the most insane thing ever, but I've not been invited. I'm not a Buckeye legend of that ilk yet. I'm not on AJ's level yet.
Oh, that's fucked up, AJ. AJ controls the list.
Yeah.
I don't control anything. Come next year.
Yeah. All right, let's dive into it, man. Speaking of Ohio State, sorry about it. Sorry about it. Ran into a buzzsaw there. But, Mark, what do you think about this year's tournament? It's been awesome. I think this, March Madness is something that is always talked about as being crazy. Some years, not so much. It's like Shark Week kind of at the beginning. It kind of falls off. This March Madness is fitting the billing, is it not? It has been amazing, Mark.
It has been amazing, and it's part of what makes it amazing is this season was fun for college basketball, and that there's no obvious, like last year, the tournament was fun last year. I think people were just excited to have a tournament again after 2020 was canceled, but everyone knew Gonzaga and Baylor were the two best teams, and we were just kind of waiting for the national title. At least those of us that follow the sport, we were just kind of waiting for those two teams to meet up in the title game. This year, that is not the case. I mean, there are teams that are better than others, obviously. That's how the seeding system works, but anything can happen on any given night, and it's been a ton of fun to watch because like Gonzaga and Arizona are the two best teams in this field, and both of them have been pushed to the brink. And last night Arizona almost loses to TCU, and then you got the 15 seed St. Peter's. That's been a fun story.
Yeah, dog. Let's go, Eder.
Yeah.
He's a dog.
You got Coach K being rammed down our throats at all times, which is
hey, thanks Michigan State.
Thanks
a lot, Michigan State.
March, Izzo.
God.
Oh man, but no. So that's what makes it fun. Is there's a lot of different things you can latch onto, and the Sweet 16 is always awesome because now we take a deep breath, and all 16 of these teams convince themselves that they're going to win the national championship, and that's always a great spot to be in because that's not going to happen. Not all of them are going to win.
Mark, hey, going back to Coach K, what do you think of this whole season and his kind of farewell tour? Has he are people still rooting for Coach K to win it all in his final year?
Oh, absolutely. Now, I'm more interested in your guys' thoughts because those of us that are really plugged into college basketball, I mean, the media types, well, they have to kiss the ring because like Coach K, there's an Illuminati situation at play, and like you kind of just have to bend the knee to Coach K. But like the people that like follow this year round, oh my God, it's the most nauseating shit you've ever seen, and we've been over it. So how are you guys, like, as guys that just kind of pop in for March Madness, what is your perception of Coach K, this whole farewell tour? Where do you guys stand with it all?
Okay, so I'm pumped about this. So whenever UNC beat Duke and then they had the the retirement thing afterwards, I was watching because that was his last, it was his last game at Cameron, of course. The Cameron Crazies.
What?
From Shasheskyville.
What?
It was the last time.
What?
So I watched that whole thing. They did that entire video where they had the drone shooting over Shashevskyville, and he was up on a perch, and he called it the greatest arena on earth or whatever. I was like, man, this is awesome. Was it like that every day? Is that like that every single day of the season? Because I didn't watch any of the season. I saw the beginning where he had that, they had that like rave almost. Remember, he loves that song.
Every time we touch.
He goes, I love that song. I love that song. I love hearing that song. I'm going to miss this. Yeah, I saw that, and then I saw the last game where they lost to UNC. So I haven't really kept up. Has it been that strong the entire time?
More or less, yeah. Like every time Coach K has done anything, they're like, oh my God, that could be the last time we see him do XYZ. And it's been like the Carolina game, North Carolina beating Duke in Coach K's last game in Cameron Stadium was the funniest thing I've ever seen. The lead up to that, this must be why they do it, because like guys like you that only watch a little bit of college basketball, it probably works on you. But like those of us that have been following, what?
That was a nice piece of art they put together. I think it worked on everybody, didn't it? I mean, you guys didn't.
I mean, like it felt like didn't it? At any point, Pat, did you stop and think to yourself, did this man die? Is this like his? Is this like are we doing a funeral? Or are we doing? It wasn't even his last game. It was his last game in Cameron Indoor Stadium, which was like especially insane to me because it was like this isn't even. So it has been nauseating. And I think like most people that aren't Duke fans that follow the sport closely, if you're not cheering for your team or if your team's out of the tournament, all eyes are locked on where Duke is at in the bracket and when they're going to bow out, because that's going to be a joyous day for the college basketball community.
Joyous day.
Hey, who's going to win though, Mark? We see they're down to 16. We have a couple I guess there's multiple teams that are sleepers that we haven't really heard of anyone on their squad that are becoming stars right now. Do any of those teams have a chance to win it?
You're talking like the lower seeded teams, the
Peacocks. Let's just get right to it. Peacocks.
Get right to it. The Peacocks. Well, I mean, I'm worried that it might be approaching midnight for the Peacocks.
We just had daylight savings.
Come on.
How's that?
Yeah, daylight savings. There you go. Let's roll the clock back. Just steal an extra hour.
Last time.
They're a ton of fun. I think what's been fun about St. Peter's is that they don't fit the mold of a usual. Like last year, Oral Roberts goes to the Sweet 16, which like AJ and I have tried to block out of our minds that whole Oral Roberts thing.
But, you guys.
Yeah,
but that's because
they were like fun and had I mean, not that St. Peter's isn't fun, but like they had two dudes that just were running circles around everybody, and the way St. Peter's is winning is with like defense and just like being smarter than the other team. It has like more of a Cinderella feel to it, which makes it more fun for me to cheer for, but also it worries me that they're going to go up against a 7'4" giant in Zach Edey and an athletic freak in Jaden Ivey in the Sweet 16. And it also worries me that they're going back to campus all week and they're just going to have people kissing their feet and telling them how great they are, and they might forget to practice this week. I really feel like that's a serious concern with St. Peter's.
Really? Just going to be gloating around too much? You think that mustache is going to be dancing around St. Peter's? How could he not, by the way? I'd be vibing if I was if I was in there. How come the refs stink? What's going on? that personal foul for the dunk or tech or whatever happened for that guy, that was like straight out of the NFL. I don't know if you saw last year the NFL, the refs were the ones who decided if you were too happy or too mad. Mm-hmm. That became a penalty in the NFL. I enjoyed the fact that now it is the college basketball refs' duty to decide whether or not a dunk was too disrespectful. What is that all about? How does that become something?
I love college basketball more than anything, but there's a serious crisis with officiating in the sport.
Hey, it's every sport, dude. Nobody wants to be a fucking ref. Nobody.
That makes it. But like college, the problem with college basketball refs is all these dudes. This is their side gig. Like all these dudes are like paralegals and like fucking substitute teachers and
it doesn't get better in the NFL. It's the same shit. Same shit in the NFL.
I never understood that this is like we're billion-dollar industries we're talking about. The guys that are making the calls are doing landscaping on the side as like their real gig, and then they just show up on Saturdays and are like, I'm gonna try to, and they're all like 60 years old and trying to keep up with like 19-year-olds that are athletic, and they're just, they're waddling up and down the floor trying to keep up with these dudes. It's a serious crisis. I don't know how we fix it though.
Yeah, they all have great slick backs. Great hair, and that thing tucked in. And then while they're holding the basketball, there's always like there's such a power pose all the time with these refs. It's unbelievable because they're being watched at all times.
Oh yeah,
and nobody's going to root for them or cheer for them. The job stinks. Like we all understand that, but I think that's why you're saying like let's pay them more. Let's get these people like at least invested a little bit, even though their job does suck and they're inevitably going to get booed by somebody.
One thing that's interesting about college basketball refs as well that no one really thinks about is the whole reason that when there's a jump ball in the NBA, they toss it up, right? When there's a jump ball in college, they have the possession arrow. And the whole reason they have the possession arrow, and you talk to like any officials or any powers that be, they'll tell you this is the reason why. It's because they say the refs don't know how to throw jump balls. And so it's like written in the actual rules that the refs suck and they're not good at their job. So like we have actual rules that are like, these refs are terrible at this. We have to build rules around it. I don't know.
It's awesome. I feel like it's every single sport at the moment. There is some news in the NFL. Jay Glazer is reporting that Matt Ryan is close to finalizing a deal to become the next Indianapolis Colt quarterback.
Wow, Matty.
All right. We will get to that. More of that after this college basketball conversation with Mark Titus. That deal might be closed here in the next couple minutes. This is hashtag JNew happening in real time. Wow. Go ahead, Boston Connor.
Yeah, Mark, how many NBA guys are in this tournament that you think will go in next year and have like an immediate impact? Like the kid from Duke, obviously, is unbelievable. You mentioned Jaden Ivey and also the 120-pound freak, Chet Holmgren, as well.
Chet Holmgren's up there. I think Benedict Mathurin of Arizona, he will get a lot of minutes in the NBA the second he steps on an NBA court. He's awesome. Ochai Agbaji at Kansas. I don't know how much you watch this guy, but he's the one first team All-American that's still left in the tournament. So maybe he's the guy to keep an eye on. Yeah. There's still a handful of guys left. There are guys left, but Chet Holmgren and Paolo Banchero. I mean, Jabari Smith was a guy at Auburn that a lot of people are excited about. They're out now, so that doesn't answer your question. But Chet Holmgren and Paolo and Jaden Ivey, I think, are the three that most people are talking about in NBA circles for sure.
Chet's what, 7'2" or something like that?
Yeah, 115.
Yeah, he's huge.
He's got handles too. Was he like not tall at all as a freshman, and then he's smooth too, like as a big guy?
Yeah. He's one of the weirdest, and I say that lovingly, but like he's one of the weirdest basketball players I've ever seen because I think the comparisons everyone wants to make is Kevin Durant, but he's not. He doesn't play like Kevin Durant. He's not trying to do anything that Kevin. Literally the only reason people say Kevin Durant is because he's a beanpole like Durant. Yeah. But no, he's unbelievable. He's a fascinating prospect because he does not fit any sort of mold whatsoever, and I'm curious to see how NBA scouts are going to see it.
Yeah, and his dad still hand records every single game, man. We're going to get that good footage. Go ahead, Ty.
Mark, why does the Big Ten fucking choke every single year? You're a Big Ten guy. AJ is. I am. We got a couple more in here. Like, what the fuck's going on? I mean,
Well, so this year, I'm gonna make this excuse. This year, I don't think the Big Ten choked. I don't think the Big Ten was that good this year. Like it was never that good. I don't think anybody. I mean, there were no number 1 seeds from the Big Ten. There were no number 2 seeds from the Big Ten. So I don't really feel like we choked this year. I think we just sucked this year. And there's a difference to me. I think last year we choked. But I don't know what it is. I mean, I used to make the argument that the Big Ten programs are too clean and that the SEC and the ACC and everyone else was cheating too much and we couldn't keep up. But I'm running out of excuses. The more this goes on, and now we're in the name, image, likeness era. So, like, what is cheating in college sports anymore? I don't know. I don't know what the problem is. But
hey, is that what's going on in college basketball? We'll give you $1 million, give you $1 million, give you $1 million, give you $1 million, give you $1 million. There's our starting 5. Here we go. Is that
I mean, that was kind of how it has always worked, but now it's like a little, it's actually allowed now. So yeah, I mean, that's.
I was thinking this weekend, maybe, when we retire and we're young, we just hire like a good basketball coach, and then we just go pay 5 high school kids to come play for us. We're in fucking March Madness.
Yeah, easy.
Could you imagine us as assistant coaches not knowing a fucking thing about basketball?
Do it.
Just have a good coaching staff. Awesome. We're just chilling. We have a team in March Madness. That's literally all it seems like it takes, right? I mean, I don't know business that well.
The content that you guys would get out of that too would be so amazing. Oh, like, I mean, you do a behind the scenes documentary on that season. I'm watching it. You sell that to HBO. Oh my God, that's shattering records.
Well, I appreciate that. We should think about
something to think about.
First chance.
Last question here, Mark. Go ahead, Tiggs.
Mark, I've noticed that like so far in the tournament, it seems like defense is winning over the offense. Is that normally the case in college? And you think that'll continue? Like Texas Tech, like, do they have a chance to win it all because they have the best defense in the nation?
Yeah, so I have a theory about this specifically this year. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but the ball that they're playing with is extra orange. Yeah. They have a new ball.
Is it rubber? It looks like a rubber outdoor ball.
Yeah, it's a rubber. It's like I said this jokingly when the tournament started. I was like, the ball. There's something wrong with the ball because like all these teams were bricking everything. And that's kind of the joy of college basketball as it is anyway. That they brick open shots. But God, it's on another level right now. And the more I've watched, the more I'm like, oh my God, is like the ball lopsided? Is it an outdoor ball like AJ said? So I really do think that like the defensive minded teams are at an advantage this year because if you go back and look at the box scores of all the games that happened last night. I think Michigan State was the only team that shot even kind of well. Everyone was throwing up bricks all game, and I really do believe it's the ball. That's my theory. That's my. I'm connecting all the dots. So as we move forward, look for the teams that aren't affected by the orange ball, the extra orange rubber fucking pumpkin they got out there.
Well, by now you think they'd be used to it, right? But those first couple games, you can see how guys may be a little bit off. It feels a little different. If I'm Ray Allen, that ball is pumped the exact same every single time. Mm-hmm. It is put in the exact same spot every single time. I'm not saying college kids are like this, but I would assume some already have, at least muscle memory down. If that ball is just a little lighter, a little heavier, a little different shaped at all, I mean, that could fuck you up. That legitimately could.
No, it could, and no one really thinks about this, but college basketball across the country, everybody uses their own ball. So there's no like the NBA and the NFL obviously use the exact same ball in every single game. Every college basketball program decides which kind of ball they want to use. So when you're going on the road, you can play with a different kind of ball. You never know what you're going to get, and the NCAA is using a different ball than they've even used in tournaments past. And it's complete chaos, and that adds to it. I mean, it's already a chaotic tournament. Then you throw that shit in there, and you're like, "This is amazing."
Nobody's used this ball. Okay, so everybody's using balls. They have never used this one. We can't thank you enough, man. Hopefully, you'll continue to join us through March Madness. Good luck with the podcast and on Fox Sports, man. Watching you ascend from the internet to TV has been real cool.
Likewise, appreciate you guys having me. It's been fun to watch you guys as well, and we'll do it again, man. Thanks for having me.
At Club Trillion, ladies and gentlemen, Mark Titus. Yeah. All right, it was our first time speaking to him. I have respect for him, so we continued the conversation. We should have stopped that thing 10 minutes ago. If it was anybody else, we would have. Enjoy that, dude. I appreciate that, dude. We're in the middle of March Madness. Good conversation. Learned a lot there. By the way, the ball thing. Let's start thinking some unders in that entire thing. Matt Ryan going to the Indianapolis Colts is all but signed, sealed, and delivered, is what's being reported. First by Jay Glazer, now by others tagging in. We are hearing it's for a third rounder from my sources. Hearing it's for a third rounder, but also the bigger conversation is the Indianapolis Colts finally get a quarterback. Maybe this will help us get other free agents and build our team. The Atlanta Falcons now are forced to move on from Matt Ryan. Is this all because of how they thought they were going to get Deshaun Watson, and in publicly doing so, they knew and acknowledged that the relationship with Matt Ryan at this stage of his career probably done? Were they ready to move on from Matt Ryan? Was that supposed to be something that happened last year when a new coach, new GM came in, but they weren't able to move the contract? Is that something they've been hoping for a restart with a new entire program being run out of Mercedes-Benz Stadium? Fascinating move, fascinating situation. The dead cap hit for the Atlanta Falcons with the way Matt Ryan's contract was set up will be $40 million.
Oh my God.
That is the largest in NFL history. That is more than what Carson Wentz ate up. This is the largest dead cap in the history of the NFL, it is being reported.
Jesus.
So who knows how this is panning out? And whenever they say the deal is being finalized, do they mean the trade? Is there a contract happening with this Matt Ryan like we just saw with Deshaun Watson going to Cleveland? Does that have to be agreed upon before leaving Atlanta or whenever he gets to Indianapolis? Because that would affect everything. Colts finally get a quarterback. AJ, your thoughts, pal?
Well, Colts get Matt Ryan, but I'm more interested in what happens with the Atlanta Falcons. They're taking a $40 million cap hit to get rid of their franchise QB that had been there for so long, and you don't have his replacement there to take the spot. Like, who's going to be the quarterback?
Yeah, so you would think that they're maybe in the Malik Willis sweepstakes here, or maybe
Is Baker going to go there?
Good.
I guess, because he's in purgatory right now. Maybe Jimmy G.
Does what's his name have any ties to Mariota since they were both in Tennessee? I don't know if they crossed at the same time or not.
Artie Smith.
I would assume they crossed paths, right? Because Artie Smith was sleeping on couches
Yeah, he
in
was there
Tennessee
for a
at
while.
some point. He was there for a long time. So him and Marcus Mariota, maybe. Now we're starting to piece things together. Great question, AJ. Led to a great conversation here at Last Chance Q. Maybe Jimmy G's on the move. Maybe Mariota. That would make a lot of sense if he liked him, right?
Yeah. And Jimmy G has no trade clause. It's hard to imagine him waiving that to go to Atlanta now that Calvin Ridley's out, and it seems like they're
They get Cordero Patterson back there, right?
Yeah.
They re-signed Cordero Patterson, who's just an X factor. And allegedly Jarvis Landry and A.J. Green and
Leonard Fournette
were all scheduled to go to Atlanta if Deshaun Watson was going to go to Atlanta. They were all on board. So Deshaun Watson goes to Cleveland. Does that mean
they're going
to Cleveland? I don't know.
Fournette probably not.
Fournette was meeting with the New England Patriots.
Landry was already there.
Came out this weekend. Yeah, I don't know if Landry's going to go back. Maybe. Who knows? I don't know how the business ended. Whatever. And business can be mended as well. We saw what happened with Cam Newton and Carolina.
Yes.
Leonard Fournette's meeting with the New England Patriots. They also re-signed Trent Brown, and they cut a fullback because, in the fullback's words, the fullback will no longer be a position in the New England Patriots offense. Bill Belichick, an offense coordinator, is going to be fucking awesome, AJ.
Yeah.
It's going to be fucking awesome.
Yeah, I guess. Wait, was it the fullback or the fullback coach that said this? Oh, this is the fullback. Okay, my bad. When I read it earlier. All right, so for real though, what roles is Bill going to have? O coordinator, D coordinator, head coach, GM. What else?
Lead counsel.
Yeah, lead contract negotiator.
That's counsel.
Okay.
Yeah, he is chef on Fridays. I don't think it's pizza, but it's like it's a super healthy pizza. Cauliflower crust.
How do you feel about the Colts though?
So, we got a quarterback.
Hell yeah.
I told you last week, get excited for Matt Ryan, right? Weren't you excited? You seemed to show some excitement.
Listen, Phil Rivers got the team to a playoff, to what Diggs was about to say. Matt Ryan can move more than Phil Rivers.
Matt can sling it. They're going to be throwing the ball 40, 50 times a game now.
Yeah, he can. He could dice it for sure. Like, I don't think we don't have any, take the top off type guys. We'll have to find one. Actually, I think Michael.
Yeah.
If he's healthy,
Strachan.
He is a guy.
Yeah.
He got hurt, blew his ACL. He's a guy, that'll be able to take the top off. And maybe Matt Ryan will get to do that because I think the play action is going to be great because we got a guy. It's right there in the back, I think he's like maybe once in a generation type guy back there, And we got an offensive line, although Armstead's not flying to Indy. Teron Armstead, offensive tackle for the New Orleans Saints. Captain, by the way, see on his chest when you see the jersey of he's flying to Miami to potentially go to the Dolphins. And I understand maybe he wants to have fun in the sun, no state income tax in Miami. And, the weather's incredible. And Mike McDaniel seems like one of the coolest dudes of all time. I get it. But also, Colts, we're about to go on a run. We need another tackle. You know what I mean? So even though we don't have a tackle currently on the roster, I don't think, maybe I'm wrong. And Brandon Beane did say this is a very deep offensive line and defensive line draft. So whatever the case. Anyways, Quentin Nelson, Jonathan Taylor. That's all. And Ryan Kelly. That's all we need to know. And that's what we should be doing a lot of. And then when Matt Ryan play action, then he gets to showcase that fucking cannon he has.
He's a genius. He'll get you in the right play call.
Well, oh yeah. BC guy.
Yep.
Yeah, Matty Ice coming to town.
Hell yeah.
Guppy and I made a lot of jokes about this last year. He was fucking tough as nails last year. He got fucking destroyed and just kept getting up, kept playing. He bled a lot last year.
Saw a lot of him sliding too. A lot of him running and sliding. I don't know if he's at the point of his career where he's like, there's been a lot of disrespect on my goddamn name about my athleticism, and now he's flying around. Matt Ryan, welcome to the Colts, baby. Let's go.
I love watching you talk yourself into it. It's great to see in real time.
No.
I think it's a good move. The Colts got to do something, right? You got to have a quarterback. Why not bring in a guy that was an MVP in the NFL not too long ago? It's not like he's washed up. He can still play. So I like that they're at least making the moves.
You heard Tone Diggs anti-Schmidt retweeted what Tone Diggs said. He said, better than Baker Mayfield. I'm not going to even get into that conversation because I don't like living in these what-if scenarios.
Sure.
I don't even like living in what-if scenarios.
Yeah.
But that was being talked about this morning on the internet. Like, hey, Baker's interested in Indianapolis. Atlanta's still shopping Matt Ryan. Who would you rather? There was actually polls, I think, happening on random Twitter accounts all over the place. Baker, Matt Ryan, Baker, Matt Ryan. And the Colts clicked the Matt Ryan one, I think, because he's definitely more expensive. He is older, but he has done a lot more, accomplished a lot more. And then Baker Mayfield, where does he land? I guess that'll be TBD, as they say in the biz, dude.
Do we know how long Matty Ice is going to be in Indianapolis? Like, do you think this is a 1-year thing, and then if it doesn't go well, then he has like an out in his contract?
We've had 5 quarterbacks in 5 years. Okay,
that's what I mean. Do you really want to do this, again?
Well, he's young, so you won't have to.
Time. Enough. You just signed Trubisky for 1 year, X million. Need to stop. Okay. Jeez Louise. 2 years?
By the way, I don't know if I mentioned it, but Mitch does have a better NFL record than Deshaun Watson. Just throwing it out there.
Wow.
Just going back to that trade. I mean, one's happening right now.
Well, you brought him up.
If we could take a trip back, though. Take a trip back.
Foxy reminded me, too. Mitch did get to play the Lions, 8 times?
8 times, yeah.
And killed
And
them.
the Lions should have won all those
Jaguars
games.
every day. So what are we talking about?
Well, listen, here's
2017.
Whenever you're talking about, Deshaun Watson, a football player.
Okay.
I mean, those Houston Texans, they were on fire. That was back before we learned anything about everything that was going on down there. There was zero stability.
Yeah.
He was balling out down there.
Kicked in the face in a playoff game.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? You Cleveland people happy, not happy? I saw there was a sign outside of Stefanski. Obviously, that whole civil suit thing will be played out publicly as well, so we'll get an answer for all of this. But they as a football team, I mean, what a play. What a move to get him on their team.
I think people are at least the people that I've run into, and I'm around a lot of Cleveland fans, some of them are super juiced, like, yes, here we go, like, we're ready. We have the roster. Now we have the quarterback. And then some people are torn, like, well, I don't know, like, how I feel because the whole situation, I'm not sure exactly what he did and how it's going and the allegations, but I'm happy that we have a chance to be, have an elite quarterback. And a lot of people, too, have said, like, I don't know why we had to pay him so much money right away. I've heard different fans tell me that as well. I'm like, I don't know. I guess that's the going rate.
People in Ohio. Yeah. We had 200 fucking 30.
Yeah, fully guaranteed.
That's a lot of money in it. That's more than anybody's ever got. Ohio people.
What do you think Atlanta was offering?
That's what, yeah. That literally led off the show because people obviously aren't happy about having 22 allegations that seriously and now into a civil situation after the criminal one was not indicted. I don't think I understand the law enough, by the way. I don't think I understand the terms. Went to a grand jury to see if he would be indicted. Is that accurate? Does anybody know?
Yeah,
Yes.
for a criminal case.
So the grand jury is what? Group of people?
Just people. There's no judge, just people.
People that hate ham sandwiches.
Well, yeah, because we were told that they would indict a ham sandwich if they could. So I think how the NFL viewed it, if the grand jury didn't indict him and they got to hear a lot more than I think all of us have. Now, granted, none of that gets made public, I think, in the grand jury the way it's set it up.
So.
So he doesn't get indicted in that. I think the NFL viewed it as They know more than anybody. They're literally the law said this, and it was so people were alarmed about how much Cleveland is paying. Atlanta was definitely going to pay a lot too. Now that we're seeing how this deal was going, I thought it was just a trade. Hey, let's see if we can get back into this thing. It was like no, you're getting next 5-year franchise quarterback. I think probably everybody was in the same conversation. Then you have to assume, right?
I would guess, but yeah, how quickly it happened too after he was not indicted. It's like, bam, they hit the ground running. They were obviously ready and everyone's watching around the league. So yeah, it just all seemed to come together so quick after we've been waiting all year. Like when's the next date where we're going to learn something? We've been saying that for 7 months now?
Yeah, but then they said that Friday. And they're like, a lot of answers coming this Friday, And we looked up what this whole thing, we didn't know what the fuck it was, what was happening, the grand jury. We had no idea what it was. So we look it up and then we see those quotes. It's like, we were the only ones saying, this is not ending on Friday. Like, from our research that we have done, with that many allegations, with the way this thing goes with the ham sandwich comment, this thing has to continue on. And, like, that's what courts are, right? Isn't it just like one prolonged, incredibly prolonged process? Mm-hmm. That's kind of how it is. Fantasyland, everything is properly justice processed and everything quickly. Like, but I think in real life, this shit all takes forever, real long. Like, I wonder when we'll get the whole civil thing. That's going to, I have no idea. But I think as soon as the NFL, they were waiting on that Friday, I bet they had somebody probably in each building. Hey, you keep an eye out, okay, on what's going on in that grand jury down there in Houston, please. And then as soon as it came back, they're not indicting him. Bang! Casario's phone was just boom, 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 boom. It's crazy. People aren't going to like it ever, by the way. People aren't going to like it ever. But Deshaun goes from potentially like 20 years in jail, maybe, to $230 million guaranteed. What a ride. And I assume there's a documentary about all of this.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to come out at some point. We'll see it all.
For sure. But also, like...
Absolutely.
Wait.
He said you think, right?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Did you say, AJ, did you say you think? Mm-mm. I thought I heard you think. Yes, I think there'll be a documentary about all this at some point. I think so.
Well, now I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry.
No, it's 100% my fault, but I think they're probably filming, right?
Yeah, I would assume so.
All of this is probably...
You think Deshaun is filming?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. He's not. I mean, they're not going to put out like the actual testimony from the accusers, though.
The grand jury, you can, I guess.
No. But you really think they're following? Like, I don't know though. Going into that, would you feel that? I guess he has kind of said how like confident he is in what he believes happened. So maybe he would want that to all be out there someday.
Hey, people are not happy. I mean, there was all the networks this morning. That cover was like,
really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Those are serious allegations. Mm-hmm. Like very,
just
very,
a lot of them too. When there's that many, I think that's what people are like. Come on now.
Very serious allegations. But then the grand jury, it's like such an interesting.
Exactly.
I think that's probably.
Jump into those waters then too, because it doesn't mean you're innocent. Obviously, if the grand jury doesn't indict you, but it doesn't mean there wasn't enough evidence to charge you or indict you. I'm like, all right, I don't know.
Well, isn't that's what they were waiting to do the entire time, right? It's like, hey, if we just got to make sure this guy's not going to jail. It's like we'll do our due diligence on all the other stuff, but as long as he's not going to jail, like, then we can figure everything else out.
It's a crazy game. Did you see that video this weekend that Bucky Brooks tweeted out from the Michigan Pro Day, where I forget his name.
David Ojabo.
Ojagbo?
Yeah, somewhere around.
I don't want to mispronounce it. Tears his Achilles in the middle of one of the workouts, and the coach just basically walks around and picks up the ball. And then they just, I think, continue doing their thing. This guy working out for his dream job, something he's worked his entire life for, and the people that are running the drills, the NFL folks, see him tear his ACL, obvious ACL, I think, or not ACL, Achilles, I'm sorry, blew his Achilles. I think it was, pretty apparent, pretty serious injury out of nowhere, non-contact. Like, I think any of us that have ever been around that type of injury were like, oh, fuck, that's an Achilles right there, even though I said ACL earlier like an idiot. So serious injury obviously happened. Business as usual, let's just move on. And, a lot of OGs in the NFL were quote tweeting that video from Bucky Brooks and saying like, hey, young guys, like, you need to know that whenever you get hurt, they will move the drill, okay? We are moving on with or without you. This is the NFL. And I don't know if that's necessarily 100% how coaches feel deep down inside, but man, I have seen a few situations where move that drill 20 fucking yards, somebody get ice on him, and then it just move on. We don't have enough time allotted for what we are doing currently to deal and stop everything for what that is. That's a pretty serious injury. That's going to take some time. It is It is the way things have always been. I think I'm not 100% sure, but I've seen it a few times. And no, it is not cool at all. It looks bad every single time, AJ.
Bro, I know situations where it was tough to watch. Obviously, you guys walking right by him and everything. And I understand, like, scouts and assistant coaches, whoever's on the side, they're not going to sprint out and go like take a knee by the guy, but you should absolutely check on him and see what's going on. But I mean, I know there's situations where guys have a serious neck injury in practice and they move the drill down 15 yards and an ambulance drives on the field and is putting this guy on a backboard and taping his head to the thing, and we're running inside run. That wasn't me on a team I was on, but I know teams where that has happened. Damn. And they're sitting there 10 yards away because, we got to get our last 3 reps of inside run or we're going to lose this week.
Yeah, it's my first time witnessing it because I didn't grow up in the football culture. I played soccer in the fall. My first time witnessing it, I remember going, this is wild. That guy's, and I think they did the same thing. I think he got carted off. I think he went right to the hospital. It was a leg injury of some sort. And it was like, well, we just don't have enough time to figure out if that guy's life's over.
Yeah.
I mean, I just... but then it just became like regular. Like people would tell stories. Like, yeah, I seen, just like what you just said. I seen one time a guy, 2 guys, boom. They're like 2 guys, they say, injury. And they're like, that's why, don't do that in practice. Move everything up 20 yards. And the equipment manager's got to move cones and do that. It's just like business as usual almost. But I do believe there's a human somewhere in there. It had to be like, you all right? I think that is the...
Yeah. Like, there's more humans. There's more humans in there than there are not. Like, there's more guys. Like, the majority of the coaching staffs, they truly do care about their players and what they're doing. I think even now more as younger coaches are getting in, it's more of a peer-to-peer relationship instead of like dictator to, hey, you guys listen to me and don't ever question me. It's not really like that most places. So, but yeah, I mean, as a whole, yeah, there's some bad apples out there that don't care at all and they're just worried about keeping their job.
They don't care about what you know until they know how much you care.
That's right. So deep. Did you come up with that?
Yeah, I made it up.
Goddamn right.
Is that a situation where you could have had that insurance potentially that people get?
Lloyd's of London.
Yes, that one.
Okay, so I had the Lloyd's of London insurance on my right leg the year that I got franchise tagged.
Okay.
And everybody told me it was a good idea. Good idea. I would have had to get my legs sawed off, basically. Accidentally. And not able to walk or kick a ball for the next 3 years to get any of that money.
So probably not.
I'm not saying it's not worth it for some people for their shoulders and pitchers for their arms if something could potentially crazy happen in life. But for me, it was basically can't even kick a ball for at least 365 days straight. Don't even have the ability to do it. It's like, well, I feel like I just got worked here a little bit. Mm-hmm. I'm going to remember this, though. I'm going to take this out, and I'm going to remember this. And this is just like blackjack insurance. I know it. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. But every once in a while, if you're feeling the way the cards are looking,
exactly,
not that bad of an idea to roll the dice on an insurance play every once in a while.
Yeah, absolutely. And what if your leg does get amputated?
Yeah, you're right.
You're going to be thinking, fuck, I wish I would have had that Lloyd's of London.
I would have had $30 million fucking dollars.
Yeah, exactly.
What if you did stumble into a circular saw?
Exactly.
So that I would have had to have been, there were certain conditions for that
It
particular.
would have had to been on the football field where you stumbled into a circular saw,
David Blank.
No, that's just for the insurance from the team.
But if you're farting around in your garage and you cut your leg off, are you going to collect that insurance?
Well, that's an interesting thing because I had thought about that a few times.
You got to limp into the stadium and cut your leg off at the stadium.
It was 30 mil. I was like, man, should I
slice my foot off?
Did you happen to see Will Compton's tweet about this?
I don't know if
it was true or not.
I did not. What did he say?
He said a story about being a commodity. One time I got hurt during practice and Braves didn't even move the drill up. He just ran the next play while I was still on the ground and yelled, "We don't have time for this. Can someone who's not a pussy get in there?" And Will had a broken leg. So I don't know if it's true or not. Braves.
I saw that. I assumed he was being sarcastic. He was joking around.
I don't know.
Braves podcast mode 24/7.
Yeah.
What a legend, that guy. What is he doing right now? He's at some pro day punching some kid in the face.
Yeah, working out.
Isn't he? He's at some
Absolutely.
How about them? Oh, boom. Tennessee Titans lose Julio Jones. They say, hey, let's not be scared because the Julio Jones thing didn't work out of not trying to get better at wide receiver immediately. Bang, give me Bob Woods over there from the Los Angeles Rams. It'll cost a 6th rounder. Braves is probably in the middle of tweeting Will Compton. Probably had, up top shelf and bottom shelf stacked to the gills there. Smoking Marlboro Red with a beer. We get Bob Woods. Yeah, what do you guys want in return? I don't know. We're thinking like a 5th round pick. How about a 6th? Deal. Fucking send it. When? This year? No, next year. Yeah, fucking send it, please. Thank you.
How is this all they had to give up?
Insane.
I have no idea. And why is he not a Colt?
He's a stud. He's a stud in what he does on the field, but you hear about all of like the intangibles too that he brings now. He does the dirty work, how he's like a leader. Everyone looks to him. I don't get how he's only a 6th round pick for that.
Well, maybe the ACL scares some people.
Is it 1979? Like, does it take 6 years to recover from an ACL now?
Yeah, and have people not come back better on the other side of an ACL than they were before? Like, that has happened. That is kind of modern science, especially, in the modern world that we live in with, physical therapists knowing what physical therapists know, the way muscles are there's new supplements and things that you can do to recover quicker than ever. I mean, it's a wild thing. I thought he was going to be a fucking Colt. Guess what? He's not. All right? He's a Titan for a 6th round pick.
Come on. You guys got Matt Ryan now. You can't be complaining still.
Bingo. It is confirmed. Matthew Ryan. Done deal. Yeah, for a 3rd round pick, I thought. Yeah.
Wow.
The Falcons are trading former NFL MVP Matt Ryan to the Colts for a 2022 3rd round pick. Sources tell Rap Sheet, Tom Pelissero, and Mike Garafolo, which is very fascinating because hashtag #JNew. So this is an interesting game. Maybe they did all find out, though. Maybe people did tell them each individually the way they worded it. Jay Glazer had this one kind of thrown out into the universe earlier than everybody else. Not that is that big of a deal because all these people break incredible news on a daily basis. We appreciate you all. But with that being said, the Colts and Matt Ryan are now a thing. Okay? A 3rd rounder's going back. How you doing? Keep it moving. 3rd round bust. Okay, Take care. We got a quarterback now named Matty Ice, AJ. We're back in the fucking Super Bowl. It's great to be here.
Here we go.
Great to be here.
Good day to be a Colt, isn't it, for you guys?
It's a great day. It's a good day for the shoe. Hashtag for the shoe. Good day for the shoe. I was intrigued to see, who's going to be that quarterback because I did hear around town they're looking for new season ticket holders. They're like doing stuff like that, like sending out reminders for ticket holders. And I had heard because I went and did the public this weekend.
Yeah.
That was fun. Hey, congrats, Nick, by the way.
Congrats, Nick.
Yeah.
You did the public?
I did the public.
Yeah.
What does that mean exactly?
I went out in public. Yeah. It was a good time.
Yeah.
I'll never go out anymore. It was amazing.
Congrats.
Thank
Where'd you go? Like a bowling alley or what?
No. We went to a bar. Yeah, a good bar. The Oakmont here. We went to the Oakmont. It was a good time.
Unbelievable.
Celebrated a birthday. Celebrated live. Yeah. I did the public, but I got a chance to chat with some people that I hadn't seen some time because I hadn't done the public in a while because I just work and go home, work and go home. And a lot of people were saying, hey, a lot of season ticket holders are like, we need to know who's going to be the quarterback. I think that was something that was very much weighing on the entire organization. You assume for free agents, they're trying to recruit in there. Hey, come on, we got a good team. Yeah, you got to go. Who's touching the ball every single play, though? I'd like to know that. We're getting it figured out. Boom. You bring in Matt Ryan. People have enough respect for his ability around the league. We'll be able to sign some more players. The boys will be able to go to work. This is a good day to be a Colt. This is a good day for the shoe. This is a good day for everything happening around here in Indianapolis.
A possible Julio reunion in Indianapolis with Matty Ice. Bring in Julio Jones, maybe.
Wow. Huh?
Uh-oh.
Wow. Look at this.
I mean, you can't.
You guys are dead. You got no fullback even on the roster anymore.
No.
You guys are dead over there. Mitchell Trubisky on a 2-year deal. We got Matty Ice, cuz.
Yeah.
Hey, Russell Wilson goes to Denver. Take a hike, Hackett. Okay.
Yeah. Matty Ice.
Yeah. Matty Ice, dude.
Yeah,
fucking Colts are back.
He's playing with ankle pads on, but.
It is interesting, too, that they basically just went out and said, Irsay was like, hey, get me the exact opposite of Carson Wentz.
Yes.
I don't care what it takes. Give me the exact fucking opposite of Carson Wentz, and we are good to go. And boom, you got Matt Ryan.
All right, so the Atlanta Falcons, we had wondered what was going to happen with their quarterback position. We put the pieces together. I believe it was Tone Diggs who actually did it. At the Titans where Artie Smith used to sleep on the couch as an offensive assistant, all the way becoming an offensive coordinator to now the head coach of the Falcons. He was with Mariota. Mike Garafolo saying, now watch for Marcus Mariota of the Falcons.
Wow.
Sources say Atlanta is expected to pursue a reunion with Mariota and Artie Smith, who was the Mariota during his time at the Titans. Hey, feels like our show's doing pretty good today.
Yeah, how about it?
Hey, doesn't it, AJ? Huh? Feels like we're doing pretty good today.
Yeah, they obviously had a plan when they were, working on moving on from Matt Ryan or trading him. They had to have a plan on who was going to be the next guy.
That is not true. We moved on from Carson. I don't. There's
to take a $40 million cap hit, you would think you have some kind of plan.
Let's get to a break here as more news breaks on this glorious Monday, March 21st, 2022. Thank you all so much for joining us. We will see you in 4 minutes with the updates on everything happening everywhere. Bye.
Damn it! The hell are we gonna do now that football's over?
This guy doesn't get us.
What are you talking about? What? Are you kidding me? We got fucking Morgan State and Norfolk State on right now.
Who cares about that?
Let me tell you something.
Tell me.
We found out a long time ago, okay?
Okay.
You win $50 on football?
Yeah.
Does that make you feel good?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, that's why I'm bummed it's over.
Guess what? That same $50, you can win on Morgan State versus Norfolk State.
It all pays the same.
What?
Connor, they're right. $50 won in college basketball is the same as $50 won in pro football.
We're back! Yes!
You have got to experience so many things, both as a businessman off the field and on the field. Is there a moment when I ask this question that pops your mind, like, what's the craziest shit you've ever seen in your entire life? Because there was a time there where it felt like you were just getting dropped into insane situations and the world was like watching you do things. Man vs. Wild, you and that Bear Grylls guy, fucking electric. That was maybe the most electric shit I've ever seen. Is there anything that you think of whenever you think, like, what's the most ridiculous thing you've been a part of?
Probably some of the most ridiculous shit I ever been a part of was, I had got the restaurant which I'm in right now, and when we first got it, I would come in here and I would, clean up and go outside in the front, sweep up, make sure everything looked nice and shit. And one morning I got up here and I noticed, damn, this is a funky ass smell. And I looked, to the side of my front door, and it's a big ass pile of shit. And I'm talking about human shit.
Yeah,
and it's right on the side of the door. So I was like, somebody done came and popped the shit right in front of the door. Like, oh, this shit is crazy. Like, I can't be in here serving food. Motherfucker come walk in and they smelling straight ass cheeks when they come in there. Like, I don't think that's the restaurant I need to eat in. So, man, I get the water hose and I'm hosing it down. And, I see, we got a couple, dolphins that usually walk back up in front. Hey, man, did you do this? Like, oh, no. So, one of them owned up to it. I said, look, man, check it out. So you don't do this no more. Look, you come by here, we get you we get you a broom and, you help us, we help you. You feel me? And, we put together a little, I put a proposition together for him, and I ain't cleaning up shit no more.
It's a win-win. It's a win for everybody on that one. Hey, one of your former teammates. Yeah, hey, everybody wins. You're helping the people, man. That's awesome. That's why people love you. But hey,
one of them owned up to it. Just a line of questioning. The line of questioning.
His name was Willie. Willie owned up to. Matter of fact, he just left out. He said, sweeping up. He like, hey, what's up? Oh boy, I've been looking for you. You feel? Okay. Yeah, we bust down together up in the front of the restaurant to get it all cleaned up and everything.
Hey, you're helping people. Hey, Willie went from shitting outside to working inside. Let's go.
Yeah. All right.
Let's go, Willie. Let's go.
Give it up for my boy Willie, man.
Welcome back to the Pat McAfee Show here on Monday, March 21st, 2022. Live from Indianapolis, Indiana, which has just become the Matthew Ryan era.
Hell yeah!
Okay. Hey, I've had some time to sit and think now on this. I'm pumped. I'm legitimately pumped. All we needed was a fucking game manager last year. Did we not just get one of the best of all time? Huh? I mean, except for the Super Bowl thing.
That was him.
Yeah, it was Shanahan.
But he's got Jonathan Taylor in the backfield now.
That's right.
I mean, that's all we needed.
That's right.
I don't know. He's catching the ball. Okay, let's figure that one out.
Pittman.
All right, Pittman Jr. and Stryon. And we need a left tackle because, hey, Ryan's going to sit in there a little bit.
Yeah.
Can't really move.
I'd like for us to get somebody to protect him on the left side. But my sources are telling me right now, my source being Jay Glazer, it was always Matt for the Indianapolis Colts.
Wow.
Really?
It was always Matt. Of
course.
It was always Matt.
Does that make you feel better or worse?
Jay Glazer goes on to say, the moment Atlanta started to talk to Watson, Atlanta and the Colts started talking immediately. You can say I told you that, says Jay Glazer.
Holy
That's
shit.
right, Jay knew.
It was always Matt, dude. It was always Matt. Baker, he got caught up in this situation because Cleveland got caught up in there. And he said, hey, he knows that the Colts are looking for a quarterback, and that's a good roster. I'd love to go there. But as soon as the Colts had heard that the Falcons got involved in there, they said, oh, might be on the rocks down there in Atlanta. Oh. Let's go down to Atlanta and see what's going on. And Matt Ryan saw the roster. I assume he met Frank and them, talked to Chris. And was like, get me there. They never reworked the deal, I guess. There was no restructured contract. That's what Adam Schefter was reporting about the situation. It's a beautiful Monday. Hey, had a baby Matty Ryan. Welcome to Indianapolis.
So the Colts are paying him. He's due, what, $7.5 million by 4 p.m.?
Get that man his money.
Hell yeah.
All right.
I like the move. I think it's a good pickup. I really do.
Hour 3 is on the other side of this 6-minute break here on Sirius XM, Channel 82. Fucking nailed it right there. Just nailed that. I mean, you're talking bang, bang. Throw the hands at the ball and then bang. You know what I mean?
Yep. Squash the bug.
Bang. That's what I did for that thing. That's top. That's good shit right there.
Hell yeah.
So Matt Ryan comes in Indianapolis Colts. AJ, legit, shoot thoughts and opinions on this. You like this move for the Colts? I seen some people tweet that the Atlanta Falcons got more for Mohamed Sanu than they got for Matt Ryan, and it's just a third-round pick. Now, granted, people are going to say the contract off their books is obviously a large part, but they're talking about in exchange for draft picks and everything like that. I like this move a lot for the Colts. I honestly do. Do you?
Yeah, you don't want to be stuck there with no quarterback. Like, if you just hang around, you sit there, you hope you find a quarterback in the draft. Like, I don't know. I think you have to do something. I like that they went after Matt Ryan. I'm wondering, is there going to be a starting position open somewhere for Baker to go?
Maybe Atlanta. Who knows what Atlanta's going to do? Marcus Mariota is getting rumored to go back with R.D. Smith in Atlanta. But Baker's, it's going to be interesting.
Carolina needs a guy.
Still, very much need a guy. They've been in every conversation. Maybe they'll make a play for old Baker Mayfield, and maybe he'll be able to, do better than Sam Darnold did on his second team and his second chance opportunity. There is now an update on the odds for the Indianapolis Colts. Once you get a new quarterback, we were 2,800. We moved to 20 plus 2,400.
Wow.
Let's go. Hey, he's a needle mover.
That's right. Trending in the right direction.
Hey, he's a needle mover. I like everything about that. At PMS Odds, I appreciate that update, by the way. Hey, good Twitter account that we just started. Now, it's an Excel spreadsheet and a couple other things. There's a lot that goes into this. But any odds that move on the daily basis, any future odds that move, they get tweeted out via PMS Odds. I appreciate that account a lot. Shout out to Bruce running that thing from 2,800 to plus 2,400. Let's go.
How mad do you think Falcons fans are that they decided to take Kyle Pitts at 4 last year instead of Fields or Mac Jones, and instead of doing something with Matt Ryan last year, and they could have had a quarterback for the future?
Well, they knew they had no opportunity to move Matt Ryan last year, right? I think that's what happened.
Yeah, because it's stuck in a weird spot. How many years left on his contract? Do we know?
3, I think.
Yeah, 3. And last year, because
they're big too. I mean, these are big numbers.
With the cap dropping last year, there was no chance they could have got
anything
rid of Matt
for
Ryan.
him.
Yeah.
So then I assume at the time they're like, well, we're not going to be able to move him. Let's just go all in here with Matt and see what we can do. And this Kyle Pitts guy is an alien. We all see that. He'll be something special. And then as the year went on, R.D. Smith maybe thought, I would like to move on in my own way, maybe, get my own offense. As every basic organization does whenever they take over from an old organization. They want to build it in their own way. So maybe they were planning on just moving with Matt Ryan. And then this year it was like, well, all right, we got a team that's going to pick up their contract somehow.
Somebody just tweeted, I just saw it, but it was an indie reporter, that it's not too bad for the Colts. So I think it's either 24 this year and 28 next year, or 28 this year and 24 next year. So it's not terrible for
All right, let's go.
There you go.
You wonder if Brady coming back kind of changed their whole entire mindset and that they wanted to get rid of Matt because, this year's probably the Bucs again.
Yeah, so let's start building for
Yeah.
Yeah.
That division stinks.
All right, let's get to a break here. We'll be back in hour 3. No guests, just phone calls, hopefully. 1-833-4 McAfee. Cannot wait to hear from you. AJ, you breaking news in hour 3?
I don't know. We'll see what's coming across the wire over here in Ohio.
Shout out to Jay Glazer and the 56,000 people watching. You all are the best. We appreciate the hell out of you. See you in about 2.5 minutes. I'm going to run to the bathroom real quick. See you then. You ever think about dabbling more on the internet? I know you don't really do it much, but
never.
you are beloved on there,
never,
Chuck.
Hey, Pat, never going on the internet.
Chuck!
Never go. No, because 2 things. Number 1, once you're successful, I always say, being successful is like being the homecoming queen. All the ugly bitches hate you. I mean, that's the truth of the matter. When you're successful, you're gonna have built-in enemies, and then the more successful you become, the more enemies come at you. So I don't want to give them access to me because I'm not that guy. If you say something mean to me, I gotta say something mean back to you. When I was younger, I used to fight all the time. I'm too old to fight now, but I can still verbalize some insult.
Yes.
And like, let's say if I'm out drinking, because people know I like to drink. If I'm drinking my vodka or some tequila and you insult me, there's a 100% chance I'm gonna say some shit back at you. And the problem with being famous, Pat, and I don't like calling myself famous, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it's 21.
People can say anything they want to me, and nobody gives a shit. But the first time I go crazy on their ass, I'm gonna get crushed.
Yeah, you're not classy. You're not professional, obviously. Yeah, be a
so
gentleman.
I choose not to let people have access to me in that situation.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we could talk about.
Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, welcome back. Hour 3 on this Monday, March 21st, 2022. AJ just slid into that microphone sideways. Hour 3 begins right now.
Yeah.
Hey, did you just get back from somewhere? We all see what we do every commercial break. We all sprinted to the bathroom, by the way, and came back. Do you do that as well? What do? You just hang out in that attic all by yourself?
No, I usually sprint down the attic steps over to the closest bathroom.
Oh, do you have one in, is it a pretty good little hall there?
I mean, it's not too far, but I definitely have to keep a pretty quick pace if I want to get back, especially on those like 1.5, 2 minute breaks.
Yeah, I apologize for that. That's on me. Had to keep talking Matt Ryan there and whatever other nonsense that just spills out of my mouth. Some of these arenas on Friday Night SmackDown, because I got to get up and pee. All right. So there is, at some commercial break, I'm going to get up and I'm going to run pee. Some of these are arenas, man, some of the VOMs,
Sure.
don't have men's rooms in them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no.
VOMs. It's a vomitorium, man. It's the
come on.
It's the entry basically into an arena, on the corners. Basically, there's like 4
What
of
is
them.
this from? Who told you about this term?
I was at an arena. I said, hey, where's the nearest bathroom for when, I got to run to somebody that had been part of the setup? And they go, I think you go down that vom back there. And I said,
What?
Excuse me? This is exactly how it went. What did you just say? And they ran through an entire arena lexicon. Vomitorium or something? I don't know if I'm saying it right, but yeah, that vom over there. Some of the voms, though, only have women's rooms, and those are normally the close. So sometimes I got to run 2-3 voms, in the middle of SmackDown through the crowd, basically. And I sweat. As I'm getting back, I'm putting headphones on. I'm dripping in sweat, and it's like, Roman Reigns is the fucking best. Just right back in there. It is a wild time. I don't know how you run down the attic door or steps, but you get back in here. A vomitorium is a passage situated below or behind a tier of seats in an amphitheater stadium. Yeah.
Bingo.
Yeah. Hey, sorry about it.
Nailed it.
Why is it called that?
Oh, I don't know.
Why not?
Dude, why don't you ask the first ever architect?
That's where
Shakespeare.
people during the show, they used to go through that situation to throw up. So that's how the name was.
You don't just keep a giant jug full of your own piss under the announce table that you periodically fill up?
Nah. Could you imagine if Ronda Rousey threw the table?
Oh
my God, there's piss everywhere.
That could be part of the program. He throws your own piss at you.
No. I ain't about that. And by the way,
Vince should put a porta potty right next to the desk, and that'd be another part of the program. Like, oh, here you go, Pat. We don't have to run through the bombs.
That's actually a pretty good idea. Get that thing sponsored.
And then think of all of a sudden Brock, when you're not in there, he knocks the porta potty over or something. Then you put Austin Theory in there, and you
give him a
get
swirly.
cranes to lift it up and hang it over the crowd.
Oh my God! All of a sudden, my potty is a party. Let's go. Yeah. Okay, now we're talking. I'm with it. I like this good brainstorming session we just had. That was a lot of fun. Let's get back to some breaking news. Matt Ryan is the quarterback of the Indianapolis Colts. Now the Atlanta Falcons are quarterbackless. Everybody's linking Mariota to Artie Smith because of their days in Tennessee. Maybe Baker Mayfield. Maybe Jimmy G. Is Jimmy G going to be a Niner then? Because we're wondering about Baker Mayfield having a landing spot now because the Colts are taken and the Falcons are allegedly in on Mariota, which we could have never guessed Mariota being the next domino to fall after the quarterback thing here. Matt Ryan coming to the Colts changes everything, I think, AJ.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, there's so many. Has there ever been an offseason where we saw so much movement from high-profile quarterbacks and just big-time names all over the league?
And I would like to say thank you.
Thank you.
I would like to say thank you.
It has been fun. I think everyone even involved, probably GMs, coaches, everyone's like, hey, this is cool. Like, if you have a guy, if you have a quarterback, I mean, Carolina's sitting there trying to find a guy. Yeah. Other teams are trying to, but it's got to be, it keeps them on their toes. It's not boring, that's for sure.
To all parties involved, we thank you, honestly.
Thank you, parties.
Thank you for this. Because you see what Connor looks like today, by the way, AJ? Have you seen this?
Looks good. What do you got? You got a little fentanyl up there you're protecting still?
No, it's the NHL trade deadline day, pal. Clearly you're not a hockey guy.
No, you just look like little kids that still have a soft spot and have to wear a helmet.
What?
Yeah, you've never seen a baby wearing a helmet?
No. I have. What's that for? A soft spot?
Yeah.
Yeah, fentanyl.
Just in case a hawk comes in and fucking grabs it.
No, what? No, I don't.
So birds of prey.
Okay. I assume that's what it was for. You were protecting the soft spot.
He doesn't have a fentanyl. Okay,
Yeah, that's
this
right.
guy's a full-blown adult, even though it doesn't look like it currently.
Yeah.
He's just dedicated to hockey, right?
That's right. Yes, the Bruins are getting so much better today. We're
No, you
fucking
aren't. You guys
pumped.
are fucking stinking.
No, we got the best defender in the league over the weekend. My guy Weeks, he fucking broke the news. I'm fucking pumped about it, pal.
Hey, how about Weeksy breaking news from the middle of a
Weeksy's on
windstorm?
fire right now.
He's crushing.
I saw Weeksy break some news in a windstorm the other day.
He doesn't
Phone
care.
out.
Do it anywhere.
Hey, Pens are getting better. We got Patty Kane today.
Well, I don't know if you guys get Patty Kane.
Is he really?
No.
That'd be awesome.
I'm not an insider for hockey, but anyway, that's how people operate. Yeah, my sources are telling me Patty Kane to the Pens, dude.
No.
All you gotta do is put per sources.
Yeah, well, that son of a bitch lied. I ain't gonna listen to them again. Who were they? Well, they're anonymous for their safety. Well, how do we know they're not just gonna lie to you again? Fool me once, you know.
Hey, that should be like real journalistic integrity. If you use anonymous sources and it's wrong, you should out your anonymous sources if you truly had a source.
That's fascinating, isn't it? Because then you would be putting them to the fire. Mm-hmm. Be a little
Yeah, they'd be
accountability.
like, hey, if you want to be an anonymous source, you better be right, because if not, you will be public.
Hey, that's what we're looking for in officiating, right?
Yeah.
Officiating. Like, there should be press. I've heard this pitched a lot on the internet, but I believe the refs of all sports that are on television that other people have to watch should have to do press conferences afterwards and explain what happened. I think that is. I know people have been pitching this for a long time. I think it'll help the refs publicly, because they can say what they were thinking, and they can admit fault too in those press conferences. And then I think it helps the humans too, because we at least feel a little justification from like, hey, What the fuck? Like that kid dunking in the middle of madness.
Yeah.
That took me back to the NFL. Took me back, right? Literally, as I was sitting on the same couch, watching the same TV, it happened. I was like, oh, you remember when those refs were like, don't you dance. Don't you even think about being happy right now. Like, why is that a thing? Why is this happening? You know?
The dunk one was, absurd. It's uncalled for. What is there any explanation from anybody on why this guy hasn't been fired? Like, what happened?
Well, Gene Steratore gave a full. By the way, I love Gene. You love Gene. Everybody loved Gene. I think that Gene has ever reffed.
He's the man.
Yeah. One of the only refs universally loved, I think, in all sports in which he reffed. Now, I am very happy for that Western Pennsylvania man.
Thank you.
Paisano,
of course.
Western Pennsylvania, of course, exactly. I'm very happy that man has had incredibly successful careers officiating, football at the highest level, college basketball. I think he could have done NBA if he wanted to, I'd assume. I feel like that is in his blood. I'm happy he's so accomplished that he gets to have CBS is the perfect place for him to work. College basketball and NFL games. It is literally perfect. And he probably got a massive pay increase. So job well done.
Yeah, Gene.
But Gene needs to be running a school too. Like they need to go to Steratore school. They need to figure out how to. I don't care what you're reffing. I think you need to go. Just the way he handles the game, emotions, energy, like just being able to be a little self-aware. I think a lot of these refs, just lack out on. It's not their fault. I just think it isn't ever presented to them in a fashion that can be explained. Like, hey, you're fucking up the game because of this. That is something I think Gene Steratore could do.
Yeah, like just the call that they give the kid when he dunks and he has to hang on the rim for a half a second so he doesn't flip backwards because of his momentum and people below you, all that stuff. Like what? I don't know. Like if he sat there, if you teabag a dude, if you teabag the back of his neck
That's
or
what
his
I
head,
thought.
yeah, I understand the technical, but there was nobody in sight. He had no intention of doing that. It just doesn't make any sense.
And I think he looked at a guy because he didn't want to hit the guy coming off of the rim, and then he
got off
jogged.
the rim really quick too. I feel like for how much momentum he had.
Then he jogged back. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't like a stuck around. He jogged. That was insane to me. A lot of these basketball refs, and when you lose bets, it's easy to do this. But a lot of these basketball refs, they have that whistle in their mouth just waiting. And some of them, I'm like, how do they know that a guy's hand hit right here as opposed to his pinky right here? Just like they can call that. Hey, they can call that at will.
Yeah, every time.
And then whenever they slow it down in slow motion, it's like, oh, you can see how his arm got his pinky there. It's like, oh, okay. So they have their error percentage is rather large. It's like, if they even touch them, it's a trouble. But then the amount of charges that get called versus it's just.
They could call it anything on the body at any time.
Anytime, because they called a bump or something, and it was like,
anytime.
so you can't box out, but I thought that was called boxing out. Well, I did it in a malicious manner. What the fuck are we talking about? That is, I never played basketball at a real level with real rules and everything like that. I don't think I understand how that is not something that people get pissed off about every time you watch basketball.
Well, and in a lot of those games too, they'll just let them play in the first half, and then in the second half they get. They really can impact it. One of the starters gets, picks up 2 fouls right away. Like that guy's not playing the next 10, 15 minutes. And it happens in damn near every game, it feels like, where at some point they're just like, all right, we need to remind people that this is our show as well.
We're here.
Yeah.
We traveled away from our families, put these suits on, and we got these things ain't nobody got.
Mm-hmm.
Their shoes can whistle.
Oh, yeah.
But
why
all
do they
that
have to
whistling
look so
stops.
terrible too?
The
ref uniforms are awful. They're like Under Armour material tucked in so tight. Then they wear, it looks like all jet black Hokas that have a 9-inch heel on. I'm like, I just don't get it.
I actually did see a Hoka on one of the refs. I was like, oh, look at those Hokas.
I walked by someone at a basketball game this weekend wearing Hokas, and I just laughed out loud. Didn't say anything. I'm just, okay. This is real.
You're such a bully.
Yeah, what the hell?
Not at the person. I'm walking. They didn't hear me. I'm walking. I'm chuckling, and my kid's like, "What's going on?" I'm like, don't worry about it.
Imagine him walking, his fingers naturally throwing up gang signs because how mangled they are. Of
course.
You walk past in Ohio. Oh my God, that's AJ Hawk, and then
nice shoes,
and then just keeps walking. That is unbelievable.
Despicable.
That's what you do.
I was past them. They had no idea I was laughing at them or with them.
So you were laughing.
That fucking guy's got platform runners.
No, I was like, wow, Pat's not lying. People actually wear these out in the wild. Like, it's real.
In the public, dude.
I thought you only wear them if you're running an Ironman or something.
Well, I might be getting into that. I'm in good shape right now.
I know. I can
feel
tell. You look good.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I just sprinted up 70 stairs, though, this morning on the Stairmaster. I think I'm lighter than I was the last time I was doing all this because I started at a much lighter weight. And for whatever reason, my lungs feel a lot better. Now, I know long COVID's supposed to not be that way.
Mm-hmm.
I feel real good right now. I feel real good. Legs a little heavy after the Stairmaster days still. Hopefully, like another week of this, I'll be able to break through that and just feel good all the time. But I feel good.
What are you doing? Are you just doing cardio? You jacking weights up? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm jacking some weights up. I'm doing some weight work. But a lot of cardio and boxing though.
Okay. Okay? To get obviously you need to be in great shape to have a match at WrestleMania against the guy, but you don't know how long the match. The match could be 2 minutes. It could be an hour, right?
No, I got pretty good. This thing's gonna be probably 8 seconds long.
Yeah, sure.
If I had to guess.
Oh, you want to make it longer than that?
Nah. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. I'm here to get a dub. All right. If I miss, boom, that thing's over. 1, 2, 3, I'm with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm 100% with it. Now, if it doesn't, if he catches one early, like old Patty Pimblett, shit, a little bit off there, and I got to work a little bit, like a fucking boa constrictor did.
Yeah.
Him wrapping his legs around that guy and just locking him in, and then just pounding his face. Yeah. Give me your chin. Give me your chin. Give me your chin. Give me your chin. You gave me your chin. This thing's over. I mean, it was. I'm so happy for this dude. He talks shit and then backs it up. I love everything about it. The amount of confidence it takes to put it out there, a lot. The amount to go and back it up, which means the amount of work you have to put into it, the amount of sacrifice you have to put into it while being this super fun, shit-talking guy, him working, the amount of shit he's had to do behind the scenes that are very miserable to get to this point. I have the utmost respect for anybody that talks about it and is about it. And this dude is. Good for him. He blew the roof off the gaff, and he did. Now he needs a stadium.
Mm-hmm. He's a star, man. Like, he's a legit superstar in that sport. And I think, he's a total package. I listened to him afterwards talk about how if he keeps making money and continuing, no one's ever going to be looking for food where he grew up. Like, he wants to help people. Like, he seems like not only an awesome personality, great fighter, he seems like a good dude.
A Scouser, I believe.
Mm-hmm. That accent.
Oh,
Yeah, he is. He said, I tore me LCL or whatever a couple weeks ago. Still got a first-round sub. So I'm gonna heal that. I'm gonna get fat probably. And then I'll be fighting whoever. And then he said, the lion do not concern themselves with the opinions of sheep for the last guy that called him out. And then he calls out Instagram, calls them bullies. And then Freedom for 97, I guess, is it was the song that he had them sing. That is something that is unsolved case of something that bad that happened in Liverpool back in the day, I think. Or Justice for 97, I think is what he had him sing. He had the entire... It was a show, though. That guy was an entire show whenever he was out there. Dana White's got to be so pumped about it.
Yeah, he's like, that's why they make comparisons to Conor McGregor with how he, relates to the fans, how much they love him, how much he can talk and then back it up. So, yeah, I hope he can continue on this path.
Me too. London, by the way, those fans were fucking insane.
Oh yeah.
Jump.
That's like when wrestling goes over to Europe, they're fans.
Are they?
Oh.
Yeah, I went to the best part when I was in London years ago. The greatest thing, my favorite part, we did all the sightseeing, all that, whatever, was we went to some local pub at 10 a.m. and there was a bunch of dudes there watching soccer going crazy. We ate, and then my buddy and I, we went back at 4 p.m. for an early dinner because that place was so awesome. The same group of people were there cheering, yelling at the TVs. I was like, this is it. This is a true feel of what this place is. It was awesome.
That's why watching those soccer games, and we watched during COVID when there was no fans there. And if, with the way they zoomed into it, you could kind of get lost in the sport if somebody good was playing like Christian Pulisic, the best in the world.
Right.
Obviously.
He's back. He's back being the best for you?
Yeah.
All
right.
Always has been.
All right, listen, there might have been a little, a couple of potholes in the road there, but he's back. He's young. He's going to figure it out. But watching those games with those fans, it is just 90 minutes straight of just them chanting and singing. Their energy levels just never seem to dip. And it is fantastic. It is, especially, imagine if their first sport they were introduced to was American football. Imagine what they like if they were fans for American football and, you know, the NFL fans were fans for soccer. Soccer would be a snooze fest.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it would be. They keep you interested almost in those games sometime. Just the random chance, you just check it out. They're going banana land. You never know if somebody's going to end up on the goddamn field, which I'm sure they're trying to combat at all times. But
some places they just start curb stomping people and they have to cancel the game.
Well, that's not Europe. That was not Europe.
Nope. Where was that?
Mexico.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Barcelona's all the way back, though.
Also.
Are they really?
Very good squad. They beat Real Madrid in the El Clasico 4-bagel yesterday.
Wow.
Good for Barcelona.
4 goals for Barcelona. Bagel goals for Real.
Real Madrid. In Real Madrid.
Bro, Barcelona moves on from Lionel Messi, and he goes to PSG.
Mm-hmm.
And we thought Barcelona was dead.
Yeah.
We actually thought they were going to go bankrupt, lose the entire team.
That's right.
Barcelona said, nah. We're from fucking Barcelona.
Mm-hmm.
We will dig down deep in our loins, and we will fight for everything we got because that's what Barcelonans do. And now Barcelona's all the way back at the top of the entire thing, pal?
Barcelona legend Xavi came back to coach the team ever since he took over. Barcelona, very good at soccer again.
Wow. See, Xavi knows what it's about in Barcelona.
Yeah. Also, Spotify saved them too.
Spotify saved Barcelona?
Well, yeah, they've always been the Camp Nou. Obviously, the stadium's Camp Nou, but now it's Spotify Camp Nou, so they
invested, saved the entire thing.
Yeah.
That's because at Spotify, they respect Barcelona.
Big time.
Just like you two. You need to. You.
Name 2 players.
So that's the thing about this Barcelona squad. They're so deep. They got these
Stop
guys.
saying the full name.
So young.
That is how it's called, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Barcelona ball.
What are you?
And that is a good point because when they
that how everyone
lost
says it?
Messi, you thought it was just over and done with.
Bingo. Because Lionel Messi is a game changer. He's winning that golden Lombardi.
Yeah.
That's right.
Is he still with the
Door.
Huh?
The Blonde Door.
He's winning that thing.
Yeah, every single
Come on.
For Barcelona.
Bingo.
It's either him or Cristiano
Yeah,
Ronaldo.
That's right. What about Chris Prolific?
Well, that's the thing about Pulisic. He's a player too.
Born for Barcelona.
What's your problem, AJ?
What do you, I don't know if it's so. Is Messi still on this team?
He's on PSG. He's on PS.
Who are you talking about? It sounds to me like this. If they won, I assume bagel means 0. It sounds like their goalie just stood on his head. Right?
No.
Yeah.
You give credit to Messi.
Yeah. Well, Messi wasn't there.
He wasn't involved
But
in the
why
game at all.
are you talking about Messi like he's there?
Because whenever Messi
to
left,
play
we
for
thought
Barcelona.
Barcelona was dead.
Bingo.
Come on.
Follow
learn-
the product.
Why does this guy not know anything about the
Follow
soccer?
the product.
Yeah, please do.
One time.
You tell me when Alexi Lawless comes back.
Alexi?
I'll tune in.
That's lawless.
Excuse me.
Listen, if Tony Mola wants to get back in goal,
Yes.
even though we got that 16-year-old looking kid who's
Yeah.
a stallion. What's his name, Gumpy? We got a union.
Brad Guzman?
Oh, dude, hold on real quick. Let's stop with the bullshit soccer talk. Let's get to real soccer talk. Okay. Although the soccer Lombardi is coming home for the first time to the United States of America.
Uh-huh. Is that the World Cup?
Yes, the soccer Lombardi
Okay.
coming to America. Again, it's going to be like a big celebration. Like, hey, here
I heard
it
we
is.
might not even send our team there because of all the strife that is going on where it's being played.
Would you stop, dude?
I did not know that.
Yeah, what?
Cutter's beautiful.
Well, if that's not going to be the case, then we'll win the next soccer Lombardi whenever hopefully everything's,
back here.
On home ice.
whatever the case. Our team's fucking better than everybody. I know it. You know it. We all know it. Okay. Sorry about it. Your sport. We've taken it over. I saw a preview for the England national team's documentary. I'm not 100% sure we're better than everybody anymore.
What?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Well, those guys are practicing together. Those guys are hanging out together. In the preview I watched, it's like we can't get the lads off the pitch. Like they want to hang out around. Our team doesn't even see each other once every fucking 8 months. I'm a little bit worried about how England's running their operation. There's a documentary coming out, I think on tonight.
Today.
Tonight it's coming out on
Yeah.
YouTube at like 7 p.m. or something like that. I don't know if it's their time, our time, what time. But there's a documentary coming about this England team behind the scenes through the entire Europe, where they missed the penalty kick and everything. This team is a tight team. Our team doesn't even fucking. We got an A team, a B team, a C team. I'm worried about it.
Well, that team lost us thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. So let's not judge how we're working off of that fucking team. Okay?
Yeah, but they're callous, is what I'm saying. That documentary looks awesome.
Wait, but our team though, are they all spread out on their MLS teams right now, and then they come together every once in a while? Where are they?
We got guys playing overseas.
Yeah,
Come on,
Bundesliga, Juventus, dude.
Yeah. So how do these other teams get to stay together the whole time?
Because they're in. I think because they're in England. A lot of these people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Their league's so big.
But aren't they all on their own teams?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they hang out. England's the size of what? Massachusetts or something?
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty small.
When Manchester United and Liverpool's rivalry was at its peak, they had to take 2 buses to games for England because they all hated each other so much.
See, that's. I like whenever you guys are like that.
Yeah.
That's what we need England to be like. We need them on 2 different buses. Our team just needs to be in the same fucking continent for a little bit. That'd be great.
Wait, their own team had to take 2 buses because they hate each other so much?
Yeah, the rivalry was so bitter. They couldn't stand each other, and they never won. They had so many good players.
The Reds and the Blues.
Yeah, but that team goes as Harry Kane goes. So
Harry's a part of this.
Harry's
yeah, I know.
For how long?
It was always glory for
Harry is on fire.
I mean, I hate to break it to him, but if fucking Wayne Rooney's not walking back out on the pitch, it doesn't matter.
Bingo.
Okay, they're cooked.
What about Beckham? I heard he was maybe coming back for another swing.
Maybe he'll
So
coach.
Alex Ferguson coaching?
Oh, is he? That guy got knighted because of how goddamn good he is at soccer.
Yeah.
What happened to the big dude that took the world by storm that played for the LA team, Abramovich or whatever?
Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Have some respect.
It's on AC Milan, you asshole.
Ibrahimovic, please.
There we go. I was very close.
Not at all.
He's still one of the best players, right? I know he made a big splash over here.
Yeah, Zlatan's the best. He's probably the best MLS guy that we've gotten. Thierry Henry was here. He was amazing. He obviously did well in the tri-state area, I believe, because he was playing for the Red Bulls.
Yep.
Beckham was huge. He was making like $2 million a day for like 5 years to play in the MLS. But Zlatan Ibrahimovic, I think with the amount of shit he talked, kind of broke through a lot for whenever people were falling off the MLS. I enjoyed watching him, especially in the
El Trafico?
Bingo.
Yeah.
He'd always put on a show when it was LA versus LA all day.
El Trafico always delivers.
Does. Just like March Madness.
What did he play? Did he play 10 games for LA? Like, where is he?
What are you talking
He's there
about?
for like
dude?
3 years, you buffoon.
Yeah, and they won every game.
Follow the program.
I better start following the program. If Gump's getting
Columbus
upset.
Crew's
Okay.
still undefeated this year, AJ. You're looking good.
Hey, Columbus Crew.
I know. Lower.com stadium. It's a beautiful setup.
All right, let's go to the phones here on the 5-Hour Energy phone line. Let's go to Seth in Pittsburgh. Remember, go to 5hourenergy.com, use promo code McAfee to receive 10% off. Seth, what's going on, Donner?
First off, how we doing? Keep it moving, boys.
Thank you, Seth.
Thank you, Seth.
Hey, congratulations on Matt Ryan, first off.
Thank you. Soccer talk. Thank
Could
you.
be worse. Could be much worse, like Mason Rudolph. I just wanted to ask, are you going to show up next Monday in Pittsburgh and embarrass that stooge Austin Theory in your hometown?
What? Seth, I appreciate that.
Cool.
Is that, he said next, so that's where Raw is next Monday?
Must be.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh. So, like, SmackDown doesn't go to Indianapolis or to Pittsburgh. Raw has been to Indianapolis twice in the last year, and now they're going to Pittsburgh.
Come on.
Come on.
What's that about?
How far in advance do they book them?
I have no idea. I just learned they're in Pittsburgh next Monday. Operate like 2 different shows, by the way. Just, you know, I think the same couple people obviously are part of both, but.
You're like 2 different teams, basically?
Yeah. And by the way, I'm not a part of the SmackDown team. I only show up on Friday. They work house shows all weekend, you know, like those. The SmackDown crew arrives in cities, you know, and it's.
So all those wrestlers, they like say, where are you this Friday?
Brooklyn.
Okay, so
where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? That's where it's over there in New York. It's one of the boroughs.
That's right.
We're gonna be there.
Hell yeah.
Barclays Center?
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be sweet. But then those guys and girls, all those wrestlers, they'll go wrestle somewhere Saturday, not on TV?
Yeah, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. I've been following along with Instagram. I need to ask more.
I can't believe they still do those house shows that they don't air.
They do arenas, man. It's like
I know.
they do full arenas over there. And I guess those shows are like, I guess those, you know.
No holds bar, like old school wrestling.
Yeah, I guess they're like great shows. I know like the some of the women and men that I've talked to love doing those shows. Like those shows are good.
Is there a commentary? Like, is there commentators? Like, does Michael Cole go?
No.
Is there like a PA guy at least that announces it for the whole arena?
Yes.
Got it.
We still keeping up that charade. We got to be vaccinated to be in Barclays.
Are you
Sherrod?
Are you working for the Brooklyn Nets?
That was the general we.
Just to play, because Kyrie went to the game and sat courtside.
Well, Pat's announcing. So.
Well, he works for Brooklyn Nets, though, that are in New York.
Yes.
And if he played, he'd be working. But when he went to the game, he was just a spectator.
Bingo.
But I'll tell you what, he was breathing the same air, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Is he okay?
There.
Is he all right? Because that's for his safety, too, right?
Yeah.
Of course.
Is he all right?
I think.
I haven't seen him.
Are you okay, AJ?
I'm doing great.
Me too, man.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, here's to us.
Yeah.
Hey, have a pretty good day.
Hey, cheers.
Cheers.
Hey,
Drinking a lot of Gatorade lately.
Yeah, just trying to stay hydrated. Actually, this is my own concoction. I put water in there, and then I got the Gatorade Zero
packets.
And then I do a nice little, you know what I mean? Because it's hard to find the Glacier Freeze Gatorade Zeros.
Yeah.
Hard to find.
Fly off.
Green tea? Your green tea is fine, isn't it?
Yeah, doesn't this dehydrate you though a little bit? Caffeine?
I mean, they claim
A little
caffeine
bit.
dehydrates you. I disagree, but yeah.
Well, I would listen to you more than I listen to whoever they are that you're talking about. What else do I
Nah,
need to know?
you gotta trust the science, I guess.
That's not.
Yeah, but you're like a super meathead. You work out.
Well,
at
I think I believe so. Like black coffee, people say, "Oh, it dehydrates you," because they just heard it dehydrates you. Yes, I've seen that where they claim that black coffee or the caffeine dehydrates you. I could drink 10 cups of black coffee, which I've told the story I did before the Super Bowl because we got there 15 hours early in the locker room, and that hydrates me because, hey, bud, it's just water, just sprinkled through some beans, just push through those beans. I'm fine. I get a lot of liquid.
Okay, so when nutritionists would come into the Packers, by the way, I'd have very similar conversations.
Don't drink, but I'm not saying I wouldn't do that if you're putting a bunch of Splenda and sugar and garbage and cream in it. No, that will dehydrate you and make you, won't be good. But black coffee, fine.
What about two Splendas?
Yeah, that's not
Great,
kill
that's
you.
fine. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. You don't need the Gatorade.
All right.
AJ, come
He's,
not
he's
all
right. Science checks out.
What?
Just normal black coffee will not dehydrate you.
Had a baby, AJ.
Okay.
I never read that anywhere. I came up with that on my own.
Does that say sources? AJ Hawk there? Is
Yeah, I
that
think so. I think we got to update it.
study peer review? AJ Hawk. I learned about peer review this past season on this show, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
Remember?
That's right.
It's nice.
We learned about science, peer review, all that stuff. I learned about that. I got thrown into that conversation.
Bro, hey, did Diggs? I'm not trying to get into this, but I'm sure Diggs saw the clip where Fauci said, "Be prepared to possibly be masked again." Like,
Nah,
a lot
he
of
didn't
people.
say
Told
that.
you he was in the lab cooking something up.
No, what is stop, Tone?
Come on.
We don't
Thought he
know.
was
That's
reti-
not real.
Thought
That's
he
not
was
real.
retired. No, it
Okay.
is real.
That's not real. They're not going back to the
I
mask.
wouldn't, he didn't say we're going to for sure, but he said we need to be prepared and it could happen.
No, I don't prepare for anything not happening. I don't want to happen.
Yep. No,
I agree with you.
And then whenever it happens, I'll just be devastated.
Yeah.
So it's a lot better life, It's just moments of devastation as opposed to prolonged devastation, thinking that something terrible is going to happen. So I'd rather just say, nah, we ain't doing it ever again. Is this real? This just came out of This just came out of left field, just like peer review did that day.
It is being reported, and Fauci did say that. Yes.
Well, tell Fauci.
In response to what?
It's about the new variant.
New variant.
Which variant is this son of a bitch? Because Omicron killed them all. Yeah.
It's a sub variant.
Like substitute or submission?
I think they found it in Israel.
Submissive, probably.
Oh, so it's soft? This one's soft then if it's submissive.
I mean, Fauci just had to talk. It'd been so long.
All right.
Tell Fauci I ain't putting on a fucking mask again.
Well, all right.
I'm done with you.
God. We don't know if this is
I'm
real.
sure he'll
It's
take
called
you
B.
serious.
It's called BA too.
Did anyone ask Deshaun Watson if he was vaccinated?
Yeah, well, I don't know if that conversation happened or his contract, $230 million. None of that came up either. That's a lot of money.
It's a sublineage of the Omicron variant.
What? This is the Omicron's the ancestor of the BA2?
Yeah.
Badass 2. That's what they.
Yeah.
Hey, you thought that Omicron was a runner? Wait till you see Badass 2. This son of a bitch is just as fast, much more powerful.
Omicron was a bitch, dog.
Fast though.
Yeah.
Very fast. Very fast.
It was fast. That thing, You know what I mean? That's why you had those sunglasses on for a little bit because it would. Anybody you looked at, bang, I got it, you got it, we got it. Bang, I got it, you got it, we got it.
Never forget the OG, the 1-9.
Yeah.
1-9 was a motherfucker.
Yeah.
That was
30.
That was Corona.
Is Fauci still throwing out the first pitch on opening day again?
In Washington?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I ain't watching if he is.
Well, I bet you it's Carson.
Oh, it's got to be Carson.
Do you think Fauci's going to be so pissed when fucking Carson Wentz is the guy throwing it out instead of him?
Yeah.
On the black.
Oh, my God.
Joe isn't going to walk out there and burn one down the middle?
Who?
Joe Biden.
Oh.
President Joe Biden.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's throwing any pitches right now, is he? Got a lot
Could
going
be.
on. When's opening day?
Has he thrown anywhere?
April 7th.
Have we ever seen him throw an opening pitch? Maybe for the Delaware
He's got
Hens?
a fucking nasty curveball. I have seen.
He's
yeah.
working jump-
Oh yeah, 12-6 drops off the table. It's fucking sick.
Imagine him stepping up there, full suit.
Yeah.
Full suit. Obviously, probably still has the mask. When is this?
April 7th.
I don't know. TSA still doing it, right? Are they still doing
Sons
it?
of bitches.
So he has the mask on. What if he fucking has a glove? And what if Joe Biden fucking goes out there and throws a fucking
really snaps it off?
Snaps that thing off. The catcher even moves.
Yeah. Barry Zito.
That'd be
Then
insane.
they find that he has a dollop of Vaseline on the bill of his hat and he made a dunk ball.
Cheating.
Can't have that.
He's reaching in the glove, working that thing. Oh, picks up the chalk, hits it a couple times. The world would explode.
Why don't they do that? That'd just be a funny little joke so you can see it. You can see
Yeah,
it.
that's recent.
12-6 action.
Holy
Oh my
shit.
God, he's about to fucking huck that thing.
Is that fucking Biden or Bill Murray?
It does look like Bill Murray.
Is that from 2022?
All right. All right.
Chink.
I don't think so. I don't think that's the case.
What?
Jameis Winston, breaking news. Jameis Winston will remain a New Orleans Saint. The Saints are re-signing quarterback Jameis Winston to a 2-year deal with a base value of $28 million, including $21 million guaranteed. Sources tell Pelissero and Rap Sheet. So after missing out on Deshaun Watson, New Orleans turns to an old friend at quarterback. Now, they listed Taysom Hill as a quarterback when they redid his contract a couple weeks ago. Remember, his deal, Taysom Hill, has incentives in it to pay him $40 million a year at quarterback, or like 16, 17, or 15, I forget, if he plays the gadget position for a more amount of reps. Now they basically say, this is our starting quarterback, just like Drew Brees said on the sideline whenever he was retiring, and he was patting Jameis. This is your team now.
It's your team.
This is your team now. It is officially Jameis season in New Orleans. Good luck to Jimmy Winston. Back in an offense I think that he knows. I don't know how big the turnover is after Sean Payton leaves, but let's go, Jameis. Another start here. Another chance for a fresh start.
I think that's great money too. 2 years, 28 mil with 21 guaranteed. Like, did you think he was going to get this much?
Well, a couple years
Coming
ago.
off an injury too, coming off an ACL.
A couple years ago, whenever he was a free agent for the first time, there was an absurd amount of people on the free agent market. He ended up being the musical chair that was left out. He signed for $1 million to go to the New Orleans Saints. This is going to be quarterback school, Harvard school. So he never really got his second big contract. I wonder, knowing that he's in a position to be their starter, if they said, hey, you guys are going to have to pay us at least a little bit of money, because when he was up for his big money, nothing happened. He's taking a massive cut here. So maybe they had plans all along. If we can't land Deshaun, we'll sign Jameis, and maybe they kept Jameis informed on that. Whatever the case, happy for Jameis Winston to get another chance to go here. I guess, they value rehabilitation on an ACL a lot better than, like, I guess every other team about Bob Woods' ACL for a 6th-round pick or whatever the case it was.
For sure. What is Baker Mayfield going to do? Is he's not going to be starting next year anywhere? I don't know. I mean, Seahawks.
Panthers probably go all in for Jimmy at this point.
Yeah, I guess Seahawks are definitely
Jimmy is
too.
still out there too.
Jimmy G allegedly still available.
But if they had 2 second-round picks in hand already, like, that has to be bullshit, right? Because otherwise they would have already, like, no one. I don't think you're not getting anything better than that.
Who reported that?
Which one?
The 2
Was it Morton?
second-round picks. Was that Peter King in his article? Or was that Albert Breer?
Someone sent it in the group.
I read it. AJ, he's I'm like, why is that getting made publicly? I actually asked Brandon Beane. I'm like, why do you think that's getting made public? You think that's real or not? Is that like a bird call for them? Hey, this is what we already got. If you want to come get Jimmy, we need a little bit better than this. I don't know.
What did he say?
He said he tries to pick through the shit. It was.
He said, wait till the deal comes out. You'll find out what it was.
Josh Norris. At Josh, I think we know Josh Norris.
Yeah.
What's his Twitter? Is he at Josh Norris?
Is Chuck Norris still alive?
Well, yeah, he's never dying.
Yeah, dude.
Let's get to a break. We'll be back in 4 minutes. Chuck Norris, what do you even think?
Yeah, sky still blue?
It is right now. It's nice out.
It's very nice out.
Hey, it's beautiful.
It's nice. I like it.
Me too, man.
Probably gonna snow again soon.
I don't know.
All right, back in 4 to wrap up this Monday, March 21st, 2022. Matt Ryan to the Colts.
Wow.
Who's the Atlanta Falcons quarterback? Things that make you go, We'll figure that out more and more phone calls on the 5 Energy phone line, 1-833-4 McAfee. See you then.
I want to tell you a story. A story about a young man who once had a gambling problem, perhaps, before all these FanDuel sports books. The greatest app, the greatest place to gamble existed. There were bookies, there were illegal gambling rings. And one time, yes, I was a part of one. And I could not pay my bill, per se. I broke my legs. But now, because of FanDuel Sportsbook, they saved my life. That's why I will always gamble with the #1 sportsbook in America, FanDuel Sportsbook.
Today's event is me versus a Carolina Reaper pepper. A pepper that has what?
2.2 million Scoville on average. I think it's pretty much the hottest pepper in the world.
In comparison, a jalapeno is
6,000 Scoville.
For every second after it is in my mouth, I don't grab this milk. We'll give $25 to a random person in the comment section right now. $4,500 feels like a good amount to give away, though. And that'd be 3 minutes. This is going to be a long 3 minutes.
That's redder than the devil's dick. That crunch. How we doing so far? Doesn't look too bad.
I should have taken a drink of water beforehand, though, because I think I had a dry mouth. I had a little cotton mouth.
Oh, okay. Once the hiccups start, I think you're just about done for. What's your biggest regret in life? Do you have 2 more minutes in you?
I think it's just starting to hit like the peak. The curve on this thing is just starting to go up.
You are handling this much better than Bill did, though. You are, yeah. Billy Tubes was puking 10 seconds in. 130. 130.
It burned my esophagus.
Do you feel like you're going to puke?
Oh, I do.
God, that milk looks ice cold, too.
No!
It broke my heart. Hey, one more. Yep. Now we go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Dance with me.
How you feel now?
A little bit better, but not great. Oh, God. That's a bad idea. I need more.
More milk.
Oh, God. Yikes.
Today's show is presented by Cash App. Cash App is the easiest way to send, spend, and save your money. It's the best finance app available, and that's why we're working with them on all of our giveaways.
Hell yeah!
Keep your eyes peeled for the giveaways from last week. The winners in the next day or so. A graphic will be made. Your cash tag will be paid. All because our friends at Cash App, you can buy pieces of any stock on Cash App or Bitcoin with as little as $1.
Okay.
Also, it's easy to trade amongst friends and give money for owed foods or bets or anything like that.
That's right. There you go.
If you aren't on Cash App yet, go use code McAfee for $15 as soon as you sign up. That's code MCAFEE for a free $15. Terms apply.
Wow.
Not a bad deal.
Terms apply.
Ring the bell.
Ring the bell. You just made a good decision.
Hell yeah.
Maybe this is a good decision, Bell. AJ, OH.
Where'd that bell come from?
See, that's a bad decision.
Yeah, bad decision.
I wanted to ring this
Hey,
thing.
I owe to the Ohio State women's ice hockey squad that just won the national championship.
Hell yeah. Frozen 4.
So that IO you gave me a couple weeks ago, one for the hockey team. It just won the Final Four. Frozen 4.
Yeah.
Congrats to them.
Big dub.
Hey, basketball team look bad, though,
Yeah, they suck.
No, you got to make a shot, man. You got to make a shot down the stretch. They came back, made it close, and just couldn't hit anything. I guess now I know Mark Titus. I was blaming the ball from day one. I was like, why are they using this super blown up outdoor rubber basketball? And now it's confirmed. Titus told us.
Well, Mark Titus said every single school gets to pick whatever ball they want to use. I mean, I would have my dudes using street balls.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We're using outdoor rubber street balls.
Yeah.
All right, we're winning every single game at home this season.
Yeah, exactly. Lopsided ball, maybe.
Boys, get used to it. And then, by the way, whenever we get to the nice ball, guess what? It's going to feel. It's going to feel so good.
Yeah,
you train hard so the game comes easy. And our games at home are going to be just as hard as training, but the road game is going to be easy.
Yeah, that's probably why St. Peter's is doing so well, because they can't afford the good balls. They're only using the bad balls.
Well, I mean, no need to take shots.
What do you mean?
I'm not taking shots. I'm riding St. Peter's until
Did you
the
not see
end.
our gymnasium filled?
Yeah.
Filled.
3,200 people.
Let's go.
It's huge.
I like that squad. Good mustache game. Let's go to the phones. 5 Energy phone line.
All that matters is what you do in the tournament. That's the thing with college basketball. You can do whatever you want in the regular season. It means, yeah, sure, you want to win, but hey, if you make a run in the tournament, that's all that anyone cares about.
How many guys you see making shots? There's like 6 teams, I think, with the shot makers.
Yeah.
Because there's those moments where you're going to have to make a shot. Just like with Mitchell Trubisky for the Steelers. There's going to come moments in that game where he's going to have to make throws. There's going to be third downs. There's going to be fourth quarter where they're trying to make a drive and either get back in the game or kill the game. He's going to have to make some throws. It's like some of these teams have guys, I think, that make shots. And it's like, wow, what an advantage that would be. We have to talk about the Bengals taking more shots, by the way. Leo Collins, now a new member of the Cincinnati Bengals. That happened over the weekend after a recruiting visit to Joe Burrow's house. Ooh. I love this, treating it like college almost. Why don't you come hang out at the house, meet not only me, but Mr. Kappa we just brought in, Hayden Hurst we just brought in, bring your wives, bring the girlfriends. Let's have a night. Let me tell you what's going on in Cincinnati. Leo Collins, immediately upon signing, shout out to Albert Breer for this news, he called Joe Burrow and said, hey, I'm your new bodyguard. Ain't nobody touching you when I'm in town. This guy's a dog. I'm so happy that Cincinnati had a glaring weakness, and they said, we ain't fucking letting that happen again. Let's attack it in the offseason. Bringing in 3 new offensive linemen. Let's assume they're going to do a couple more. Go for the Bengals making plays, AJ.
It's huge. I think the Bengals are getting a lot of good pub from this, too. At least I know I'm in Ohio, so maybe I hear it more than others, but people are juiced. Like, people take the Bengals seriously now. Obviously, going to the Super Bowl, have a chance to win it, and now you see them making the right moves, what it feels like in the offseason to clean up the issues that they had in the offensive line. So, Bengals, Super Bowl contenders the next 20 years now, huh?
Well, not only that, I mean, they're also in contracts to build an indoor facility.
Are they?
I mean, the Bengals are turning around, allegedly. I mean, that's what our sources told us that
I
they're...
saw General got in a little argument with some people online about that.
What? That it was real or not real?
Well, because something about indoor facility, and then Bobby, I didn't know this information. Bob knows so much stuff that I don't know. Something about... Since Cincinnati proposed a deal, I don't know, this is coming from General Bob. They proposed that the Bengals and UC build one together, and they do it like Pittsburgh does, like Pitt and the Steelers, and they were going to split the cost. And the Bengals said, nah, we're good. And Cincy said, cool, we're still going to put a bubble up.
Oh, so is that the one we're hearing about for people bidding on?
Oh, no.
No, this is the bubble that Cincinnati uses, I guess, or whatever their facility is. And the Bengals didn't want to take part and didn't want to split it and build it with them, I guess, or do it.
Well, and they still get to use it in the end?
Now, I don't know how long ago this was proposed.
Yeah, but that's hilarious. Now, what are you going to do? Tell us we can't use it? Yeah. All right, we'll see. We tried to use the University of Cincinnati's bubble that is only minutes down the road, but they refused to let us in there. It's like, well, we try to have you be a part of it. You said no. I mean, that is That's interesting business, obviously. I'm sure the University of Cincinnati, which will probably just up enrollment costs and do a couple more, up the prices to the game, whatever.
Yeah.
They'll figure out how to make the business back, but that's bad business. But we've been told by some people on the inside that they have been told to put bids together for a new Bengals indoor practice facility. You look at the last 2 off seasons, they've spent money in free agency. They got a guy. They're building Hey, the Bengals. Hey, welcome to the jungle. We got fun and games. They're about to go. The AFC North. Deshaun Watson playing football for the Browns. Maybe. Joey Burrow and the Bengals going all in and investing. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, we don't know what's going on there. Steelers, what's going on in Pittsburgh?
Oh, they've made some incredible moves this offseason, so I am not worried about that. Okay?
Mitchell Trubisky.
Why?
The AFC North just got real hot, though.
I'm excited to watch a Browns and Bengals game that actually means something for once in the regular season.
Miles Jack, Gunnar Olszewski.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you got Gunnar?
Oh, yeah.
All pro.
Levi Wallace, corner from the Bills. I mean, they've been making moves all over the place. By the way, the Bengals, for some reason, are third best odds on FanDuel Sportsbook to win that division at plus 220. I feel like they just won the division and went to the Super Bowl. I could be wrong, though. And Lamar Jackson, everyone knows he ain't winning a fucking playoff game.
What? He did 2 years ago.
I mean, it was 13-6, so did he?
This guy.
And in the Browns. So, maybe put something in on the fucking Bengals.
Okay, so right now the odds have moved. And I believe what the Browns were to win the division before this was like plus 290 or something.
Yeah.
Then they dropped to plus 155, the favorite, and then it settled back at plus 185. This all happening over the weekend with the Deshaun Watson announcement. Ravens at plus 200, Bengals plus 220, Steelers plus 850. Does feel like you got good odds right there on the Bengals, but I could see any team winning the AFC North, just like the AFC West. I mean, the AFC is legit murderer's row now if you want to win that thing, but the Super Bowl is the Super Bowl for a reason, AJ.
Yeah, I'm just curious, like AFC North, who's the worst team in the North right now?
Who do you think, Don?
Browns. I mean, what's he going to start? Fucking 6 games?
Who knows?
Jacoby Brissett bringing you a fucking division championship?
Hey, is it Jacoby before he got hurt? Huh? Jacoby was dealing.
Yeah. Jacoby can play, man. People do. I don't know why they don't give him the respect he does deserve.
Especially with that run game they have, you know?
If they use it.
Yeah, that was interesting. Were they trying to make him look bad at the end of the year?
Maybe. Probably. At this point, it feels like it.
It is affecting how he throws. That sling he has to wear 2 days later. Hey, we're going to throw you 65 times tonight. Yeah, against a very difficult defense. So let's go ahead and sling it. Let's be accurate too, huh? Trying to make a long-term contract here or what?
Go get it.
All right, let's throw these things on the numbers. Oh, you threw your 4th pick. Hey, we're still throwing.
Mm-hmm.
Just when we get back out there, we're still throwing this thing. That made no sense. That was wild to me. Now, you know how it's all panning out? I think that should be something that should be talked about at some point, I think.
Oh, and Odell leaving and having so much success, too, when he goes to the Rams. It's like, oh, okay, so maybe, OBJ is still OBJ, and it's a different problem.
You think Baker hates everybody right now? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. How could he not?
Yeah.
Also, are the rumors that they said, like, when Baker put his letter out and said, I want out of here, is that when they really stepped up their efforts to go after Deshaun? That's what I read somewhere.
Really?
No.
Like that almost they're like, okay, well, now we're really going to go after this Deshaun guy.
I thought we read earlier last week that they told him from the get-go, like, hey, we're going to do our homework on Deshaun. If we can get him, we're going to get him. Like, you understand.
But then whenever Deshaun ruled them out and then Baker did that thing and said, no, don't even fly down here to talk to me. I wonder if they're like, $230 million guaranteed. See if he'll come back in the game.
Right now.
See if he'll come in $230 million. He won't see if that happens. That's interesting because different people are reporting how it went down and how the decision was made. And I don't know if we'll ever find out the truth, but
Deshaun's going to have a presser at some point, they said.
Oh, yeah.
How's that going to go?
Nah, I don't know. They didn't give a timetable or when it would happen, but they said the Browns are preparing to hold a press conference with Deshaun at some point.
All right, let's go to the phones. Let's go to Matt and Madison. What's going on, Matt and Madison?
Hey, boys. How we doing?
Yeah.
So big thanks to Chris Ballard for taking that bag of bones off our roster.
Bullshit.
That guy stinks. I'd rather have a jugs machine sit back in the pocket than go another year with him. I mean, he is awful.
Jeez, that's my quarterback. Fuck off. Hey, fuck you.
Hang up. Get him off.
A lot of people were saying that on the internet, though.
No.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, Matt, you're welcome to call back anytime. Just not now, okay?
Who do they want? Who do people want, though?
Matt, don't kill my vibe. Matt, don't kill my vibe. All right, Matt. Right now, I'm vibing right now. I'm happy about Matt Ryan.
I can tell.
We need a game manager. I actually am. A lot of people.
You should be. What other options are out there?
Bingo.
Who do they want?
Bingo. Who are we going to get? Who are we going to get? Are we going to go get Aaron Rodgers out of the Packers because Devontae Adams isn't there anymore?
No.
Who else are we going to? With this team, you can't just buy another year with some. They had to do something, and the pressure was mounting, business wise, team wise. Matty Ryan's still out there. Let's go.
Yeah, but if Jimmy G goes for 2 seconds, are you going to be mad?
Well, and then his contract. I mean, we owe Matt Ryan $700 million, but
Yeah, so
7.5 today. He's fucking gonna be so good. He was running last year so fast.
Running.
Are you upset the Colts
Running.
didn't go get John Smith for veteran minimum?
Let's go to the phones.
His full name's John Smith Schuster.
It was $10.75 million. It wasn't.
Well,
10.75.
if he catches 600 balls this year, 10.7.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Well, it's base of $3 million and then 7.5 in incentives or whatever.
I see that being reported that way made me believe that there was that 1 year. It's a 1 year, $3 million deal.
Yep.
1 year, 10.75 is what Rapport says because he'll accomplish all those things, especially with Travis Kelce holding some defense, Tyreek Hill holding some defense. Remember, whenever he and AB were on the field, he was very, very good.
Unreal.
That's a weapon for Kansas City, and now we get a chance. Finally, Jackson Mahomes, Juju Smith-Schuster,
Boom.
TikTok heaven.
Hell yeah.
Titans of
Wait for a
industry.
sinkhole the size of Texas to open up. When
No.
that happens.
You wait until the views the size of Texas start hitting, pal.
Bingo.
The numbers that this TikTok is going to do, the amount of...
Oh my God.
They're going to be all around, dude.
Steelers odds should have got better when he left.
Oh.
Jeez, Tony. Ton, I don't know what this is all about. I think Juju Smith-Schuster is an inspiring human. He's young. He's probably made a lot of mistakes that he agrees with are mistakes, both publicly and privately. He's going to grow. But when he's on an offense where he doesn't have to be the focal point of the defense, he was great.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll be able to do it again, AJ. Maybe he'll be able to do it again.
I think it's smart. 1 year deal, no matter what the money is. If he goes and he lights it up in Kansas City, he's a free agent. He can go sign a multi-year deal somewhere.
That's good business.
That's right.
He can go join FaZe Clan.
FaZe Clan.
He dominates the internet. People do not like that because, you have to dominate on the field too.
That's right.
Or the fan base is not going to be happy or care about your self-business stuff that you're doing. Juju knows that. He's learned from all this. He just came out of knee rehab. He's going to be all the way back. Him and Jackson going to kill it. Hour 3 wrapping up here on this Monday, March 21st. 6 minutes after this break begins, Chris Mad Dog Russo will come on. Anything to say to those people before they hear Chris, AJ?
Chris will have a great show. Mondays are some of his favorite days, I think.
Monday's everybody's favorite day because there's a lot of days worth of shit that we get to chat about. I assume more will happen today, including what happens with the NHL trade deadline.
Hell yeah.
We'll see you in 21 hours. You are the best. Have a good one.
Yabo.
Welcome back to PMS After Hours.
Oh, yeah.
We, relax a little bit more.
Yeah, kick it.
Today's show, hey, Brandon Beane was really good today, AJ.
Unreal.
I need to go. I'm going to go back and watch it.
He's just like, I feel like he's just talking to us. It's not like an angle. Like, what's the angle? It's not an angle.
He's not scared. He's not scared, is he, to give answers? He's going to have to sit there and think about it and give cliches.
I ask him about Belichick. I ask him about what other teams are doing. I ask about things that are called bad deals out there. Like, he just handled it all, like a human would, which I appreciate.
Most GMs would probably come on, or a lot of GMs, I would say, would probably come on and be scared to death. You're going to ask them something they don't want to talk about.
Tom Telesco came on, did the same thing. What were you about to say?
Well, I was going to say the Washington thing. Yeah. I feel like most guys, after that had come out, would just kind of skim over that and act like it's not a big deal. And he was openly like, "Oh yeah, I'm not going to forget that shit." He gets it. And I feel like a lot of guys probably would have tried to deflect a little bit.
I did try to get him to trade Josh Allen.
Yeah.
I think that was bit too.
He's good. I thought I had him close. I was reeling. If you give me a good 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more hours.
Well, and now you have Matt Ryan as new trade bait, so maybe that thought has changed for you.
That was big by the Colts, though, to get the Falcons to eat that $40 million cap. I'm sure the Falcons wanted the Colts to eat some of it, didn't they?
No, that was just dead space. It's not the act. We still got to eat 28 or whatever.
Man.
Big contract.
That was dead money.
Yeah. He's getting paid a lot of money.
Yeah.
He deserves it. He's a fucking hell of a player.
He's a great player.
For who was left though, he's
The best.
Yeah.
What are we even talking about? Chris Ballard doesn't have to go to pro days and say, "Get over here, Bo. Hold that fucking ball."
Damn fucking hands.
Doesn't
boy.
have to do any of that. You know what I mean? Doesn't have to worry whether or not the guy's going to come in and be a fit. Doesn't have to worry about any of that. It's like, hey, Matt Ryan is a game man. He is going to come in. He's going to lead. He's going to have respect, I assume, of the locker room, and he's going to work. You know, that's Matty Ice.
I agree. But aren't you going to want to get your hands on him, get him here in the Thunderdome, see?
I don't know how Matt Ryan feels about us. Remember, I questioned his Hail Mary ability.
That was only one time.
A couple times I brought it up.
Can be fully healthy for the whole offseason, just like Frank wanted.
Carson came in and you questioned him a lot more.
Yeah, but Carson's out there on the Bobcat.
I was gonna say he got his head so far up his ass out there, hunting. He doesn't know what's going on.
It's
So it
not up
doesn't
his
matter.
ass. It's out in the woods.
Well,
Have you seen that picture with him?
What's that?
And
Mo?
have you seen the picture when he killed like 1,000 ducks? Was that all by him?
Yeah, Mike Trout.
That's unbelievable. That's a good dog. Go out there and get those ducks.
Just to pin them all up on this shed or wherever he was kneeling in front of. I was like, that would take a long time.
Yeah, the way they set all those up, when I see those photos, I'm like, oh, you guys have been setting up for doing things for the gram for a long time. Like those photos have been set up that way for a long time.
Oh yeah,
especially if you're successful out there.
Yeah, didn't you go on one of those? You pay like $800,000, you get to go kill a lion. Didn't you do one of those?
Yeah. That's something I would do.
I was a dentist.
Oh yeah, dentist in Minnesota.
Yeah, that prick
Cecil.
That guy, his gig was almost done. Yeah, not me. I went on a hog hunt. Down Louisiana.
Those things ruin the fucking earth, though.
Oh, they're a rat.
Yeah.
They're a problem.
Yeah, you gotta kill them.
Feral hogs.
No, we didn't kill him. We just caught him and we gave it to somebody else.
Oh, really?
They probably killed him though.
You got to shoot him from a helicopter.
Nope. See, I'm down there in the woods, just me and a couple dogs.
Boots on the ground.
Those dogs, by the way.
Yeah.
Pit bulls.
Schlegel has like 5 of them.
Oh, really? He goes hog hunting out there?
But Schlegel kills him with a knife, though. He didn't bring a gun. He stabs him.
That's fucking.
He sold it. He sold that package on the cruise many, many times where you go on a hog hunt with Schlegs down in Texas. He has a couple dogs. They grab their legs. You jump on them, slice the neck, take them home.
Jesus.
Grill them, feed them to the homeless people. Schlegs does it all the time.
Yeah. Okay.
Good guy.
So, all right. Thanks for.
Did he get retained? And also, did he have to inform Urban Meyer who Aaron Donald was?
Dude, what is this? There's reports coming out about this guy being the biggest
I haven't read that whole
doofus.
story. You guys read the whole thing?
Oh yeah.
We read a lot of it, yeah, because, once one clip of the article got sent into the group, there was a lot of like, go on. Yeah. And then there was, oh, yeah, he doesn't know who 99 is of the LA Rams. He's going to be a problem, huh, that guy? Yeah, he's a little bit of a problem. Where did he go, like Michigan or something? No, he went to the University of Pittsburgh. Oh, that's a small school or whatever. It's like that's how he was talking. He was acting as if these guys in the NFL would matter. There's another alleged statement from him talking about the guys from the South in their transcripts, like basically being too dumb, allegedly, and wide receivers not running the right routes. He was wrong. They were running the right routes. He was saying that publicly, burying people. This thing is not great for the Urban Meyer era. It was actually called the most toxic environment one person has ever been around. And, we could have never told, from the outside. We could never tell that was the case. But, man, there's a lot of anonymous sources and other sources coming out telling stories that are just like, yeah, it was unprofessional. It was terrible. It was not everything that you would hate in NFL building. I assume he has his side of the thing as well. Truth probably lies somewhere in the middle, but that was a failure, an absolutely abysmal failure.
Yep. I'd say, where does he go from here?
Well, he's working for
the board.
you guys.
He's like on like the NIL deal situation he's part of.
Deal. Anytime you use the word deal.
I don't know how it works, but yeah, he's like on the board of that, right?
What are your thoughts on the NIL deal? What do you think?
What do you mean, the one that he's a part of?
Well, just any of the NIL deals that people are a part of.
It is funny that all of that is happening, and it's almost like it's so different. Like, we weren't allowed, if I went to Waffle House and someone tried to pick up my $6 check, I could be suspended a game when I was playing for that. If I let a stranger pick up my meal. Now, you get $1 million before you step on campus. And it's just how it is now. It's crazy how it just all of a sudden, bam, one day it changed, and here we are.
Yeah, well, hey, listen, good for Axel. All right.
Yeah, here we go, Axel.
Good for Axel. But it does stink for I think about players that would have really, like Pat White, we had him on the show. He would have cashed in so big. And if he got $100 for a bar tab and somebody reported it, he could be suspended for a fucking game because of it. It's like, get out of here. This dude just built this entire town and this guy can't get somebody else to pay for his beers. All right, I'll get a loan out then for $40,000. I'll do it. Fuck it. And that's what I did. You know what I mean? The NIL deal, hopefully I would have found somebody to at least sell a car for to give me $40,000 at least in there. I mean, there's just the basketball thought I had this weekend, so real. Like I was watching just some no-name school, St. Peter's, like going to run. I'm like, that looks like so much fun.
Yeah.
So we could technically just hire a really good basketball coach, right? You just assume we.
Wait, what school though?
Who gives a fuck? University, whatever.
Okay.
Because in this thing, the March Madness, it doesn't matter, right? Any school from any level can basically get in almost. It feels like I might be wrong.
You just got to win your
D1
tournament
conference.
Right?
Yeah, you go to some small school. We just get enough money to pay 5 really good kids $1 million each.
Win the conference tournament, boom, you're in.
We're in tournament. Now we're dancing. We're giving speeches.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it'd be so much fun. Because that's probably what some teams are doing, I'd assume, right?
Let's do it at Pepperdine.
Huh?
Let's do it at Pepperdine.
Oh my God, it'd be so much fun. How nice it is out there.
High point.
We could win the WAC for sure.
And then we're in dance.
Yeah.
All right, we'll do that for 10 years.
Hell yeah.
God, we're doing it. We're going dancing.
I'm pumped.
We just start a
My
college.
God.
We're going dancing.
Well, it might take a while to get D1 accreditation. If,
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, we could probably get into the poop one. What's that poop
Yeah,
one?
the CBI. Yeah, poopy one might let you in.
But we don't want to go to the CBI. We want to win the
fucking dance.
Yeah.
Did you see Huggy Bear on the desk?
He was good.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
What's your eyes on? I didn't see it.
It's just like, I don't know why they do that when it's like, okay, this guy is so fucking disinterested in what's going on here. You know, like
Why
I
does he
get that's
do it?
kind of like his personality, but it's just like, Jesus Christ. I mean, what the hell is he doing up there? Just kind of like.
He's selling the program.
Yeah, he's really selling the program, the product. That, I tell you what, back to the drawing board on that crew next year.
Come on.
Wait, what crew? Who is it?
All due respect, but there's a lot of time that they're on TV. Let's get back to the drawing board, okay? I wasn't seeing enough Wally Zersbiak this year, and I need more of him. You know, he's
a big, handsome white.
Yeah,
Wally's good.
The A crew with Wally and Charles.
right.
And Ernie.
Ty loves Rex Chapman. I
Gumbel
thought.
was hosting when I
All
was
right,
yeah,
AJ.
you are.
Listen, AJ, we knew that's where you wanted to get to.
exactly.
What is it? What's the controversy with it? I honestly don't know anything about him. I just know people are pissed for some reason.
Well, yeah, I just know people were pissed. I didn't look into what the words were saying, but I just.
Well, it's kind of like, it's funny and it's enjoyable when guys like Chuck and Kenny like clearly have no fucking idea who any of these guys are because they're doing the NBA all like. Can't have the fucking B team not knowing anything that's going on either, okay? Because that's not as endearing. It's like, what? Jesus Christ, we couldn't find anyone who knows what the fuck they're talking about up here?
Hey, Rex, good on Twitter.
Great on
How come
Twitter.
he wasn't wearing a mask during the coverage either?
Well, what state was it? Atlanta?
Well, I don't think it depends on matters what state he's in. I mean, he's pushing double mask, double vax anywhere he goes.
Oh, so this is why. All right. He was going to have to bat 1,000 not to eat some, huh?
Yeah,
I haven't seen his Twitter account in some time, but it did appear whenever I was searching through his name on the internet. People were impressed that he became a full-blown politician and doctor and everything, and then was also able to call college basketball. I saw a lot of.
Has he been going after people? Is that why people are happy to pile on? Does he go after people?
Oh, yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Quite a move from blocker charge.
Whoa.
It's a good show.
I guess he pronounced somebody dead on the air the other night who works at CBS still alive. Rest in peace to Coach.
Did they come back and respond like the next segment? Like, hey, this guy's alive?
I don't know if they did. The internet did, though. The internet was not exactly thrilled with him doing that.
Interesting path he took.
TV's tough. Hey, listen, TV's
It
tough.
is.
It was not good. He lives on Twitter, though, right? So he's got to see it all.
Oh yeah, he sees.
Oh.
That's what I think about. Because like when I stink terribly at something, and I know it, I'm like, I'm on Twitter a lot. This is going to become something. So whenever we have a bad show, which is every single day, but some shows worse than others, I like get genuinely upset. I'm like, man, Twitter's about to be terrible. But I deserve it. All right, I'll stay off it for the night, I guess. I love it. I think about like if I was to wake up and my name's trending and everybody's attacking me, basically, that would be a tough day.
Yeah, that would suck.
But hey.
He might like it. He might like that people are talking about him.
Yeah, but also when you sign up to get dropped in front of somebody else's audience, you got to do that.
Yeah.
Like whenever I go do SmackDown, Like, all right, there might be some people that absolutely hate me because I'm getting dropped into their audience, right? Our show, we don't even market this show. People just kind of end up here. So it's like, hey, like, you don't like it, fucking keep it moving. But whenever I get dropped into somebody else's show, I'm always like, all right, probably going to take some shrapnel today. People are not going to like me. I'm going to have to get through it. It's going to be a tough wave. I'll get through it. Then we'll get to the other side. And that's what happens when you get on like these college basketball. Everybody on earth is watching this, you know? Yep. So Rex Chapman is now being introduced to a lot of people that either aren't on Twitter or are on Twitter and already know Rex Chapman. And that is something that there's a chance you're going to get murdered. And, it felt like Twitter was doing that this weekend.
Yeah, took it on the shin.
Yeah. Maybe you just got to mute every word.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Or just don't do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is something we have been waiting for all day. It is NHL trade deadline day, ain't that right?
Hell yeah. Go, boys.
And the greatest organization in professional sports, the Pittsburgh Penguins, have made a move. Getting Ricard Raquel.
Hell yeah. Dick Rackle's coming
Yeah, you're
in?
goddamn right, Dick Rackle. This dude knows how to play hockey.
Holy shit.
Now, the Ducks are a squad that everybody likes because the
What
movie
position
was
does
made.
he play, Pat?
Huh?
What position?
Dick Rackle is a fucking winger, bro. Get out of here, bro. He is a goal-scoring machine. We're talking about a guy that can fit in on any line. Hard worker, too. Scrappy if you need him. If he's going third line, he'll fucking go all the way into the boards, pal. He ain't afraid of the Pittsburgh blue-collarness. The Pittsburgh Penguins franchise and program has high expectations, and Dick Rackle fucking loves all of it. He is the perfect Penguin. We just got better. Let's go to the hockey expert. Your guys' team fucking stink. You're not doing anything. What? Nick Moraldo, what does this mean for the Pittsburgh Penguins, pal? Hey, a good decision was made. Dick Rackle's a pen.
Pat, you absolutely nailed it. He's going to be slotted in on second line, riding shotgun with Evgeny Malkin. He's playing the left wing, former 30-goal scorer, former first-round pick. This guy can play. We got a guy.
You guys stink. Your team stinks.
No, you wish, pal. That's a bad photo. He's normally got an A on his chest,
Yeah,
too.
goddamn
dude.
right.
That's because he's got cement in his skates. He stinks now, pal.
No, he doesn't. He's on second line. He doesn't have to fly around. He needs to be tough and a goal scorer.
You guys' team stinks.
Hey, show that hair, please, one more time.
Great
Boom.
photo.
Are you fucking kidding me? He's on our team, not on yours. You guys stink.
I don't care if Weeksy's not fucking breaking the trade, then it's not a fucking big trade. So Dick Rackle, he can probably go back to the fucking AHL for all I care.
He ain't going back to AHL. He's going right to Lord Stanley's Cup.
This beautiful Swedish man will be hoisting Lord Stanley come this summer. He will be partying at Mario's pool with all the boys.
Dick.
I doubt it.
Bees haven't done anything.
Bees got the fucking best defenseman in the goddamn league, also from the Anaheim Ducks, pal.
This is Gabe Morency.
I'll be honest, if the Golden Knights don't make a big move today, I might
the hat off?
I might be done.
They did not. They actually got rid of a guy.
Stoner's gone? Stop. Okay, stop. They would never.
Original Stoner or
Jackie,
new Stoner?
Jackie Aces is fucking softer than McDonald's ice cream.
Whoa!
I hate to say it, but that's the guy we put all the fucking chips in for? If they don't make the playoffs, I'm done.
What'd you say, AJ?
I said, didn't he have like his neck fused together?
Yeah, boo-hoo. Hockey players are fucking tough, okay? Get past it. Score some fucking goals.
Ty wants to take that hat off. Come to the Pens, pal. Come on.
We got fucking Rackle.
Dude, we're making plays.
Why are you a Vegas fan, Ty?
What do you mean? I mean, the fucking
Born and
franchise that captured
Questions.
everyone's hearts and minds, you know, when they came on as an expansion team and went to the Stanley Cup. I was in there from day one. They go on a storybook run to the Stanley Cup. What am I going to fucking renounce my fanhood? Absolutely not.
Your fanhood has been all glitz and glamour, though, and now
It really
it's time
has.
to get on the rocks. And
Exactly. And I don't like it at all, okay? Stoner hasn't played in fucking 6 months. And we're getting whispered sweet nothings about, hey, Stoner might be coming back from long-term IR. You know? Where's he at? Where's he at? His fucking back's broken still.
Yikes.
Jeez. Well, good luck to his bat. Hope it comes back together. And shout out to the Pens making a play on NHL trade deadline day. We got better. You guys got worse.
That's not true.
That's not true.
I told you, we got the fucking best defenseman in the league right now.
You still stink. So do you, Fox.
No,
Shout
we
out,
didn't
Fox.
need anyone.
He's
We
not
didn't
even
have to make
close to
any
the
trades.
best
Our team's
defenseman in the
already
league.
good.
The Red Wings made a
Yes.
trade. They got one of their better defensemen.
Got rid of him?
Yeah.
Selling at the trade deadline.
Hockey.
Oh, you guys fucking stink.
It's Red Wings hockey. And we fucking stink. It's always a rebuild. That's what we all think.
We'll be winning the cup before the Pens do. I guarantee it. That's a guarantee.
Before this summer, good luck, pal.
No.
Fucking
Give
right,
us
pal.
the next 5 years, we'll have way more cups than the Pens.
No.
5 years?
Yeah,
right.
3 out of the 5.
You might not be in
Next
the playoffs.
75 years, man. We'll fucking figure it back out like it was the original 6 times and we were actually relevant.
You guys are
playoffs
just mad.
This
Not
is fucking
hockey
con.
All right, that's the show, dude. Great for the Pens. Thanks for all you guys.
No, we're good.
All right, you guys have a great one. We'll see you, Mignogna. AJ, you were great today. Thank you, pal.
Yeah, thank you, Paul.
Big thanks to Mark Titus and Brandon Beane for stopping by, and to all of you for watching. We're back tomorrow with big news, huh?
Big news.
Huge. See you then. Bye.